Listen, man, we got some serious news to discuss. Lamelo Ball, MB1, the one of one. We about to get into it, man. There's been some breaking news in the NBA, man. Free agency done kicked off. There's a lot of things percolating right about now. And one of those things that's percolating is obviously the LBJ sweepstakes. Where is LeBron James headed? That is the $1 million question. And people need some $1 million answers. I'm here to tell you right now, you know, LaMelo Ball and his new team. Yes, this is a new regime, ladies and gentlemen. Expect to hear big names and big sweepstakes. That's what you're going to be hearing now that LaMelo Ball is out of Charlotte. These teams ain't playing no games. Minnesota, they trying to improve this roster. And I believe with this move, with LaMelo Ball, MB1, the one of one coming to Minneapolis, and now you hearing LeBron James. Minnesota now has interest in Mr. LeBron James. Do y'all hear me, y'all? LeBron has an opportunity to play with another Ball brother. We all know how that worked out when he played with the first Ball brother and Lonzo Ball, ZO2, the Chino Hills prodigy. These guys made history, y'all. You talking about what Lonzo was the youngest to get a triple double. And if he was to come play with LaMelo Ball, you are talking about this thing on steroids. Melo is not even in his prime. Anthony Edwards, they are not even in their primes. If LeBron is serious about taking his career to, a couple of more seasons, maybe 3 to 4 more, messing around with this young roster and LaMelo and Anthony Edwards. This would be a perfect fit for him. You have Rudy Gobert there. LeBron can just go in there. The Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm hearing, is getting cap space, and they are prepared to offer LeBron James some sort of contract. Ladies and gentlemen, Minnesota has interest in LeBron James. He could be coming to play with LaMelo Ball, man. This is a definitely change, and definitely nobody saw this one coming. I didn't see Minnesota. Now, it's talks that LeBron has his name in all 30 teams' hats. Obviously, not the Lakers, but 29. But Minnesota, this is a shocking change of events now, man. You talking about this is why I'm trying to tell you. I need to see free agency. I need to see the starting lineup. Right now, LeBron James has free agency in the palm of his hands. Because he's holding up some of the supporting cast for some of these rosters. They the Minnesota right now. You think they looking to fill out the roster or they looking to go after LeBron? Right now, everybody's pushing their chips to offer LeBron the bag. LeBron already got the bag. He already said this decision will not be based upon money. LeBron is after a championship. You got to think Minnesota was just there prior to the season. They went back to back in the conference finals. So this is the kind of roster and team and organization you come into. Come here to Minnesota and get some young players their first championship. You got the right core. This would really be something if he was to leave the Lakers and come to Minnesota. Could you imagine a situation where they could lose out like that? Luka Doncic, this would be a mess. This would be like pie all over his face. Pause. Shout out to Thunder. Shout out Daniel in the chat. You already know what it is. You know, um, there's so much going on right about now, man. The NBA is running rampant. Could you imagine if LeBron James was to go to the Minnesota Timberwolves? Now you have a new super team in the NBA. You got to think LeBron James and them, they started the super team shit. Now I know that the big three Celtics, they really the ones who popped it off, but LeBron took it to the next level. When he went to Miami, to South Beach, he took shit to the next level, and Kevin Durant remixed it. So what better way for it to all just come full circle and just go to Minnesota? I would really like that. Um, LeBron has all of the championships, and you can go to Minnesota and be a focal point. You won't just be riding the wave. Obviously, you got young players to get you to the promised land, but come playoff time, your services will be needed in Minnesota. You got your closer, you got your point guard who's gonna make life easy for you, and it spells for each other. How would that even fit with Lamelo and LeBron? In y'all opinion, I think it'll work out. Lamelo has played with a lot of different ball handlers. Pause. You know, LeBron is going to have to come off of the ball. We heard Dex speak on this on the last live stream about LeBron not coming off of the ball and things like that. If you come play with LaMelo Ball, you have to give LaMelo the basketball. I hope that is another situation that he had with Kyrie. I know that him and Kyrie clashed, but they did win an NBA championship together. So we got to understand LeBron does have experience playing with elite point guards. I believe that he's identifying something something with I believe he's identifying something with Minnesota, ladies and gentlemen. And do not be surprised if he inks on the dotted line with the Minnesota Timberwolves. What's the deal? It's Flight Sports. We live. Uh,
Hey, this girl Natik from
what's good,
Dallas,
Nate?
and I was
What's
already
good?
thinking about this very lineup. Like, you want dogs? You got the ultimate dog and Anthony Edwards, and his team. To me, defensively, I think they can go up against uh Wemby, because if they did what they did against Wemby, and you add LeBron and everybody's healthy, they're a problem. I think they can get past the Spurs.
Big
And
problem.
I think there's a possibility they most definitely can get past the Nuggets, depending on how they look when they come into the season. But I'll keep my eye on the Nuggets big man, because if nothing changes around here, he might be leaving.
Mm,
But ultimately, LeBron for the Minnesota Timberwolves, I would kind of root for that, because to me it'd be the ultimate if Lamelo leaves and he wins with Timberwolves.
could
It
you
would be
imagine that
absolutely
shit?
crazy.
This should be crazy. It'll almost, you know what? It'll remind me almost of when Lonzo went to Chicago, right? Lonzo went to Chicago. You just thought it was just him and Zach. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You see how we going with deja vu here? Right now, you just feel like it's just Mellow and Ant. Could you
Mm-hmm.
imagine they come in with this domino and go get a LeBron? It would remind me of what happened with Chicago. And you remember what happened with Chicago? Their problem was health. That team they was number one in the East.
They
So
sure were.
listen, when everybody was healthy, then when Lonzo went out, all hell broke loose. So yo, LeBron, come to Minnesota. You come to Minnesota, come play with Melo, man. All jokes aside, man, is gonna definitely add more seasons to your career. Go ahead, Natik. You good?
And most definitely, Lamelo, his foot is his body is on fire. Like, look, y'all just dismissed me. Had the best season, thinking he's gonna come in next year. And hey, we just keep pushing to make sure we get, make the playoffs. And they ended up taking that possibility away. Go to Minnesota. That's fine. But I'm sure his whole body is on fire. You
That's
put
right.
me with this team, and then you add LeBron. We are trying to go get that trophy, because Anthony Edwards especially is trying to get it.
That's right. That's no question. Anthony Edwards trying to get that title. And now you got LaMelo. This would be big time. Minnesota definitely need to get another domino. Hopefully it is LeBron, because I'm hearing that Golden State just said forget about it. I'm hearing that they out of the LeBron sweepstakes because it's not a package deal. I think for LeBron and AD, that was the only way he was headed to Golden State. So I think we can kiss that goodbye. Could we really envision LeBron moving like that? I would have thought he wanted to stay in Brentwood. He's definitely shocking a lot of people. So I mean, Minnesota is becoming a viable option. Like I said, there's reports that Minnesota has interest in LeBron James. You know, um, uh, they're going to be clearing out space. Teams are clearing out space to offer LeBron James the bread that he may be asking for. Mind you, it's not about money this time. It's about winning. Natik, I'm gonna ask you, what would it be like with LaMelo playing with LeBron James? What would that look like in your opinion?
I think it'll be a fun lineup. I think it'll be nothing but lobs, good passes. I'm sorry if you hear the noise. I'm on the bus.
You good?
Um,
Oh damn.
I don't know, and a lot of IQ exchange. That's why I picture a lot of. Let me see what he's at mentally, and let's go get it. I see a lot of passes and lobs, and just straight up exciting shots.
No, that's a fact. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's not official yet. Shout out to James Anthony. It's definitely not official yet, but it's on its way. Um, that's all you need to know. Lamelo Ball, MB1, the one of one. Um, he very well could be teaming up with a star-studded cast. When it's all said and done, I'm telling you right now, Lamelo deserves it. If anybody deserves it, it's Lamelo Ball. Lamelo Ball was dormant in his Charlotte Hornets days. They wasn't adding the pieces. Now you go into a situation where these teams are more aggressive than the team you played for. They was not trying to move the needle at all. So now let's see what happens. It will not just be him and Ant. It's gonna be this is gonna be a star-studded cast. I think when it's all said and done, they just re-signed Bones Highland. um, I definitely want to see a little bit more. Hopefully, we get a word on LeBron quicker so teams can make decisions and movements. LeBron right now has the ability to literally hold up free agency, and I think that's what he's doing. I believe it's going to be a very difficult situation, to get LeBron to make his decision ultimately. So it's going to be interesting. But LaMelo Ball teaming up with LeBron James potentially. We already know him and Ant Man is locked up, but now you got LeBron. Lord have mercy, ladies and gentlemen. We have breaking news: the Minnesota Timberwolves have interest in LeBron James. They will be one of many teams, and there's reports that LeBron always, admired Ant's game. So I'm telling you, things are looking on the up and ups. Listen, man, we got the legendary All Access in the building. Dex, what's the deal? It's Flight Sports TV. We live. We got breaking news. Talk to the people.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ, the hottest in these streets. Shout out to the panel as it reaches its premium peak. Shout out to the chat and all of its cacophony spewing out of the cracks and crevices of Flight Sports Block. And big ups to everyone pulling up to Flight Sports TV to witness this here extravaganza. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and definitely hit that notification bell so you won't miss one iota of an exuberant experience. Flight, this is big news that the Minnesota Timberwolves have entered the conversation, that the Minnesota Timberwolves have entertained to get the talent of the likes of the LeBron James. Um, this is a seismic proportion. We done heard the news about Kawhi Leonard going back up north and running from the Western Conference as LeBron James continued to tread in the Western Conference. He's not afraid of all these young big dogs coming to the forefront, dominating the Western Conference. Old head James still feels that he can conquer and get up to the mountaintop and raise the banner of a team to hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy. LeBron James is not done. This will be his 24th season. Old head still, he got enough juice in him. He says his testosterone level is at an all-time high. We're going to see who wins the sweepstakes of LeBron James. I know it's not as promising and as big when he first went into free agency, and it was wait and see with LeBron James, and he chose to take his talent to South Beach. He was a little more quiet when he left Cleveland for the second time to enter the Los Angeles market and play in the Western Conference for the first time of his career. He did win a championship in the Western Conference. Some say that championship is questionable. Other historians want to put or place an asterisk next to that championship. But LeBron James says there's more in the tank. His juices are still flowing. His competitive spirit is still at an apex. Who will be convinced to get LeBron James in these sweepstakes, Flight?
Hey, Flight. I also think, you know what, LeBron with the team that they got over in Minnesota. I'm thinking LeBron. He doesn't have to work too hard because the guys did great getting to the playoffs. Say he can play about 25, 30 a night during the season, but a refreshed LeBron going into the postseason, say upwards around 35 if need be. Y'all got problems. The league got problems. I'm rooting for him because if he goes to the Warriors, I'm bored. I don't care about him going to the Warriors. It's the same old, same old. I want to see him, somewhere we can really run with the young guys, let the young guys do their thing. Need be, he just steps in, does what he does, and that's it.
Look, I know I was on mute. Um, Listen, appreciate you, QJ Smith. I want to pose a question for you right now, Dex. Before you came in here, I was discussing how this is very reminiscent of when Lonzo Ball signed with the Chicago Bulls. Nobody knew that DeMar DeRozan was coming along with him, and then they end up signing Alex Caruso, and before you knew it, they was the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. Um, don't you think that's pretty similar if they was to sign LeBron James in free agency?
No, I don't think it's similar to that, due to the fact that LeBron James control his own destiny, and I believe wherever he choose to go, I believe that team will welcome him. It's what LeBron James want. It's not anyone really controlling his destiny but himself.
Listen, man, LeBron James is the truth and a half. Shout out Sky. LeBron, we all know that he has his issues and limitations, but coming to play with Lamelo and Ant Man, and if they was to keep, if they would keep the big man too. Now you talking. Um, Dex, do you think it would be any situation with Lamelo? Lamelo never really played with a player who almost demands to run the offense as well. You have people handle the ball here and there, but LeBron is really, like you said, he need to come off the ball. How would that look like if he was to play with Lamelo?
Well, I don't believe LeBron James, knowing the dynamics that surrounding Ant Man and Lamelo Ball, would try to come in and usurp their player ability and usage rate. I don't believe LeBron James can go to any team right now and be a high usage rate as he has been in the recent past. Luka Doncic have taken that mantle away from LeBron, so now teams could be more likely to accept LeBron as is instead of be reticent about LeBron coming in trying to be the system than LeBron trying to fit in a system. He showed that he can play alongside Luca and still be a 20 plus point average player, and still historically continuously to lead the league in NBA fast break points. So he can still get out on the wing. He still has a motor. And I just believe that LeBron James' usage rates has decreased, and he understands the nature of his usage rates decreasing and being fit with Lamelo and Anthony Edwards, who require much usage rates themselves, can fit in and wouldn't be a problem, nor a throw a monkey wrench in Chris Finch offense.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, Dex. It won't be no monkey wrenches thrown in here. Um, Last time LeBron played with a ball brother and Lonzo, you seen what it was. Youngest player to a triple double. What kind of historical things that you could see if LeBron was to play with Lamelo right now, especially when Lamelo was healthy? What kind of things can they accomplish in this league?
I don't know, to be honest with you. Only thing I can say is that if LeBron chooses to go to Minnesota, he has accepted a reduced role um, in the offense. We know his defense is deplorable, you know, but can he accept a reduced role in the offense? And if he can, then I believe Minnesota will welcome him and welcome him with open arms. And at the same time, that would increase LaMelo's play, no doubt, because LaMelo can still play with confidence and do not have to worry or look in the rearview mirror that someone else wants to run the offense besides him.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. What about the Ant Man dynamic? Um, how does the offense work? With Lamelo, Ant, and LeBron. How does Ant fit in that equation?
Ant is going to be the system, right? Because
Right.
this is his team. Ant Man has already shown that he can win with or without Lamelo or LeBron James. So these two addition, which would be a major plus and a positive pursuit towards a championship, they both know that this is Ant Man's team, and I don't believe neither one of them will come in and try to threaten Ant Man for the reins of the team. I just think they come in and play very good, high quality basketball. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, I believe, was Tim Conley just can put the best product on the feet on the court.
Wouldn't free agents flock to Minnesota if they hear the LeBron James signing?
That's a possibility. That's a very possibility because one thing about LeBron James, he's going to bring eyes. And when you get eyes on your product, that means advertising and sponsors follow. And so that means the bag opens up even more. Not so much the bag on the court, but the bag off the court. So that would be a welcome thing for Minnesota and new free agents that's looking to increase and expand their brand is to play under the watchful eye of LeBron James because he's an international iconic figure in sport, not just basketball, sports, period.
All right, Dex. Speaking of that iconic figure in LeBron, we all know the business things that he got going on. He's just leaving Hollywood. Now he's gonna come to Minneapolis, Minnesota. How does that dynamic work with the star power? You seen what he did for Cleveland, I'm with the revenue that he did for the city. You talking about this is groundbreaking. Now people forget about this, Dex. What kind of impact can LeBron have in Minnesota? Does his celebrity dwindle if possible, or does he go there and just go ape shit like he did in Cleveland? What does what does that star power look like in Minnesota?
I don't think LeBron James is going to go ape shit no more in his career
Wow.
because you gotta look at it like this. Those injuries can mount up. And those injuries could be so devastating that when he retired, he would not be able to walk upright. So I think LeBron James want to cruise into the sunset, but he want to win a ring before he retired. And whatever team gives him the best viable opportunity to win a ring, that's where you will see 23 representing.
Yeah, most definitely. Um, are you surprised that Minnesota is showing interest in LeBron?
Um, no, I'm not surprised, because LeBron is historical, right? And wherever market he goes into, he enhances that market. And so the only market he probably can't enhance really is probably New York. But outside of the New York market, LeBron can enhance any market in the NBA. So it'll be a viable financial institution if LeBron wear their uniform for the time being.
That's right. Sky has been real critical here in the chat. He says any team that picks up Bron would be lucky to make the play-in. Um, it has been a rough couple of years, with LeBron. He hasn't had the most playoff success, and it's kind of sad to see him go out like this. Let's see what happens. This next destination is going to be, I think, for all the marbles. If you really want to go after another title, this is your best shot because this is going to decide whether he's going to win another one or not. Don't you agree? This next move.
Yeah, I think this next move, this is his last opportunity to be in a competitive situation if he want to continue his NBA career. Or some might say LeBron just trying to increase his lead in the total points after breaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar record. He want to just put it definitely out of reach. Others say that he want to win a championship before he goes out, so he can at least have as many as Kobe Bryant. He might not catch Mike, but at least have as many as Kobe Bryant. And if he does win that next ring, I believe the conversation is still over as far as being the GOAT, but it'll put him definitely past Kobe, according to some of the NBA pundits.
Yeah. Listen, I listen. I watch Kobe. I watch LeBron. In my opinion, like I said, LeBron James to me was better. That's just my opinion. When healthy, and when LeBron James was in his prime, too bad they never could make it to the NBA Finals to really settle it. But give credit to Kobe; he was getting there. LeBron he got knocked out 2 years when we thought we was gonna get that matchup, and we never got it. He lost to the Celtics and he lost to the Magic that first time in Cleveland, and we never got to settle that debate. But that was just. What do you think? Do you think that LeBron was better than Kobe?
I mean, in some aspects of the word, yes, he was better than Kobe. It's just that he just didn't have the mentality of Kobe. I mean, when you get someone as big and huge, pause as LeBron
Yeah.
James, and
Uh,
still have the agility to do the things that small guards was able to do, and he come in as an anomaly. Kobe didn't come in as an anomaly. Kobe came in as a facsimile, and so that's a difference. Kobe didn't really what you call he didn't change his position. That position was already changed. LeBron come in changing that position. Even though Scottie Pippen, you thought whatever he did couldn't be outdueled, but LeBron James did that. He came in and made that point forward position even greater and allowed players like Draymond Green to have an opportunity to excel. So yes, I believe that LeBron James in his totality of his skill set was better than Kobe. It's just that he didn't have the Kobe mentality to maximize that skill set.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's a very fair analysis. Um, we seen where the Lakers went wrong. What's the chances that he returns to Cleveland? Do you think that they still in the race, or you think that it may be somewhere else?
I think Cleveland is will always be in the race because that's his hometown. You
Mhm.
know, if all else fails, that's probably where he play his last game, and maybe that's where he's setting it up to play his last game. He's tired of wrangling and wrestling with the Los Angeles Lakers for stability, and Cleveland will always be a resting place for LeBron James where he can lay his head because he won them a championship. The only player in the history of the Cleveland Cavaliers' existence to win a championship for them, and it just happened to be a hometown hero.
Yeah. What's the chances is Miami because we can't rule Miami out of this
Nah,
report.
nah, nah, nah. Miami's
I mean,
that's
Riley
dead.
just patched it up.
Nah,
I heard.
no, that's dead. I think Miami is dead. I don't think Pat wants to deal with that with LeBron James agency. If you look over at the Miami Heat, I don't think there's nobody from Clutch Sport is is in a Miami uniform. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to. That's a good question. I gotta evaluate that.
If it is, there's not nobody significant that you know can turn the organization inside out.
That's right. LeBron, man, we got to see what he gonna do, man, or what he wants to do. At the end of the day, hopefully he can come and perform wherever he goes. Like you just said, accept accept a lesser role this time for real. I think with the Lakers, I think they were playing around with. I don't think he could have. Yeah, Luca, he was injured. So I think that kind of let him down. Do you think that Luca could have played in the playoffs and he just elected not to?
That would be high speculation. I don't even know. I don't think Luca, if healthy, would want to miss any games playing in a Laker uniform at a high level. So I just find that ridiculous to even entertain that thought that if Luca was healthy, he just refused to play.
Yeah, well, you're right. He had to be injured, but I know that he had an injury. But could he have played? You know what I mean? Some guys play, but I guess it's not too smart. He's a young player, right? There's no need to create some kind of strife. If you the Lakers, I think they may have shut him down.
Well, you
Because
got
it
to
was
look at it like
game.
this also, though. The Lakers, with that team and that roster, wasn't going anywhere.
That's right.
Um, once they beat the Houston Rockets,
That was
that
good
was a
enough.
surprise. Remember, the Houston Rockets was favored in that series. The Lakers was the underdog. So,
Right.
so and their next was going to be OKC. They know they weren't going to beat no OKC. And to say if something did drastically happen and they happened to get past OKC, they wasn't going to beat Minnesota, and they definitely wasn't going to beat the Spurs because Minnesota got their number. You see what Minnesota did to them the year before. Anthony Edwards went to the crypto .com arena and just trampled over the Lakers and then bragged about it walking down Olympic Boulevard. So that wasn't going to happen. They knew the Lakers did not have enough to compete for anything significant. So they just let the season play out and save Luca. Even if, like you said, if he was able to come back, which I don't think so, they just put Luca. They just put Luca out the pasture until next season.
Good call on that, Dex. It's been a lot of, fake Laker fans running around. Now that LeBron James, has left the Lakers, you're going to see people's true colors. We're going to figure out who was the real Laker fans. Dex, are you still a Laker fan?
Like, why would you ask such
Wait a
a
minute, I got
question?
to double check with you guys.
Why would you ask such a
Yeah,
idiotic
I
question like
don't
that?
know. I
I'm
got to,
I'm shocked at you. Of course, I'm still a Laker fan,
because I mean,
and
you've been
like
voicing
I've
your
been a
opinion.
Laker fan. Flight, I've been a Laker. I'm not brokenhearted, nor am I crying tears that LeBron is leaving. I've been a Laker fan since 1977. I mean, was it, yes, 78, 77, 78, when Michael Cooper joined the team. But I've been watching the NBA since 77. But when Michael Cooper joined the Los Angeles Lakers coming out of New Mexico State Lobos, of course, I'm a Laker fan, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, you talk about all the
Wait, not New Mexico
Caucasians,
State,
bro.
excuse me, New Mexico, not New Mexico State. Come out of New Mexico, the University of New Mexico Lobos. Yeah, I've been a Laker fan ever since because, Michael Cooper is a homegrown hero in Pasadena, went to Pasadena High School, and, we followed him all the way through his career, and he became a Laker, and that just was crazy,
Yeah,
you know, for the city of Pasadena, he put on.
yeah, good call. You know, you speak about all the Caucasians that's going on with the Lakers. You believe that they running a lot of people out and then possibly trying to run an all-star in five. That's why I thought maybe you was upset. They still got Vando and company. You know, it's still a little bit of people in there.
Yeah, those are role players. Luke Kennard left. He's going. I think he's going to the Suns. Yeah, he's going to the Suns. So that's one down and a few more to go, you know. But yeah, I'm talking about, players of significance. I'm not talking about role players. I'm talking about someone that can start and make a difference. And it seems like Lakers is using that opportunity to promote Caucasian players.
Yeah, we're gonna find out when all the dominoes fall. Because LeBron James is going somewhere. Reports are that he could be coming to Minnesota. If he comes to Minnesota, do you expect a big trade to happen? Usually, when LeBron comes to a team, it's a big move coming. You know, what do you think if he came to Minnesota? LeBron may, his mentality, he might shake up the joint. He might want to get Chris Finch up out of there, bring in a Rich Paul client.
No
Man,
way.
I'm just telling you to
Paul,
go, bro.
hey, like you exaggerating big time right now. You
Come
thinking
on,
of
man.
you thinking of LeBron James of 2018 or something. He don't wield that kind of influence or power anymore. Nor does
No,
plus sports. Their best player in the league right now is Tyrese Maxey and Anthony Edwards.
come on, man. Why you
But
you, you
sports ain't
saying
got it like
LeBron don't
that no
got all
more.
the power?
Not like that. Because I mean, just look at it. You got Chris Finch, a known winner as a coach, right? Who's beloved by the city of Minnesota. Then you got Matt Lloyd, right? I think he's the general manager and vice president of basketball. I think, right? So Matt Lloyd is best known as a prominent NBA executive and high level basketball scout, right? Serving as the general manager for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He is highly regarded in the league for his extensive hands-on player evaluation skills and his three-decade career in the front office of the Minnesota Timberwolves, Orlando Magic, and the Chicago Bulls. So Matt Lloyd is very, very familiar with LeBron James. You feel me? He's been around the NBA forever. And bringing LeBron James into the fold to mesh with Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball, that had to be something he highly observed for that to even be a trinkle of a thought to disrupt or interfere with the growth and development of Ant-Man and now LaMelo Ball, right? So do you throw a wrecking ball in there? I don't know if LeBron James have spoken with the brass of the Minnesota Timberwolves. But one thing about it, they are looking to increase their financial status in the NBA, right? So it's no telling what Minnesota might do right now. They got LaMelo, they got Ant-Man. Hell, why not have LeBron, right? Let's deal with LeBron and prepare his rocking chair when it's all over. But it's a high it's a high value, low risk move because they already have Ant-Man in place. They already have Rudy Gobert in place. They already have LaMelo in place. They already have Jaden McDaniels in place. So Devin Chinzo in place. So when he gets healthy, so the Minnesota Timberwolves have a good defensive core in place. So if they do decide to bring LeBron James, it have to be heavy conversation on his usage and in his minutes night in and night out.
Yeah, you definitely got to monitor LeBron James minutes. I think you need to make sure they're staggered. You don't want to overload LeBron. Um, but seriously, I definitely like this. You definitely need some supporting cast, some shooting to go along. There's a report that this guy from Cleveland, what's this guy named Dean Wade? He just signed with Philly. He's nobody special, but he hit threes and shit like that. He signs a 4-year, $39 million deal. So Cleveland, they losing some players on the wing. LeBron, Cleveland seems like the safe pick. They home is home for him. I'm pretty sure he got multiple properties there. But this is LeBron James. You can get a property anywhere. You could bring Brentwood to Minnesota. I mean that's the kind of money that LeBron has. He can make Minnesota hot. For him and around his space and his little bubble. Pause. So it just don't make sense, man. Come to Minnesota, come win, play with LaMelo. I think that'll be good. Finish your career. Play with Rudy Gobert. You don't have to really do too much. I would like to see LeBron James on the block. I think that's something that he didn't do. He doesn't do too much. Um, but I do want to see him down there a little bit more.
But
And
like I say, Matt Lloyd, he's a great talent evaluator. That's where he got his bread and butter uh, respect in the NBA for doing such. And his hands-on approach has been magnificent. And when he was with the Orlando Magic, he spent 10 seasons with them as assistant general manager. So this guy is no newbie. He's he's been treading the mill, and he's long in the tooth when it comes to that side of basketball. So for the reports to come out that Minnesota is interested in him, then I'm quite sure he has a grand plan to insert LeBron James with this uh, young backcourt, and the information that LeBron James can bring to this Minnesota team to get him over the hump would definitely be a notable milestone flight.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if they roll with Chris Finch if LeBron get there because I know Anthony Edwards he vouches for Chris Finch. I think that's why he hasn't been fired yet. Um, what I will say is this: LeBron is he doesn't always gel with coaches. You've seen with David Blatt. You've seen with Walton. The list goes on. It it's no telling that him and Chris Finch may kick it off. Like I said, he may like somebody else, but hopefully he just comes here and takes a lesser role and don't think that you need to come and start moving players and coaches and GMs and things like that. I mean, LeBron got to slow all that down, in my humble opinion.
Well, I can say this much right here: Chris Finch has achieved more than all of the coaches that you just named. And Chris Finch is not a newbie. Chris Finch has went to the Western Conference finals in back-to-back seasons, and he only fell short this season, even though they gave um, the San Antonio Spurs a run for the money. It's because of injuries. So I think LeBron James will highly respect a coach like Chris Finch. He's not a newbie like Black and Walton or any other coach with less experience. He accepted Ty Lue because Ty Lue made LeBron respect him. You know, so I think at this juncture of LeBron James' career, I think he can settle in with a coach like Chris Finch and respect his decision making throughout the season.
Yeah, good call on that, Dex. It's going to be an incredible season. I want to see what's going on with the Terrence Shannons of the world with this roster. I want to see how LaMelo Ball transforms this team. Because you got a lot of pieces on this team, but they just gonna need a little bit of direction. I mean, what can LaMelo Ball do for the Io DeSumos, even the younger players like the Terrence Shannons off the bench? The Bones Highlands who they just re-signed, even Rudy Gobert. What kind of how does LaMelo Ball make those guys better?
I think LaMelo Ball would definitely make those guys better. And the way that I've witnessed LaMelo Ball play throughout his 6-year career in the NBA, going on the seventh, is that LaMelo Ball is not afraid to share the ball. LaMelo Ball has confidence, and when he passes the ball, the player will make the shot. We've seen this with the Charlotte Hornets, even though the Charlotte Hornets talent pool was very low. So now LaMelo Ball gets the opportunity to play with all stars and players who are serious about their craft, you know? So you got Jalen McDaniels, you got Io DeSumo, and like I said, Terrence Shannon. These players are serious about their craft. And now Bones Hyland, who has been a problem through the Charlotte Hornets, so LaMelo know how Bones get out. And they are very respected players in the upcoming of the youth movement in the NBA. And they fit well with LaMelo. LaMelo loves this. So now you got players that has a high probability of knocking down shots, taking it to the rack, and just causing havoc on the hardwood for the opposition. You don't have to worry about not having his assists fulfilled and recorded as that with Charlotte for a few years. A lot of his assumed assists was jacked off because players missed wide open shot, jacked off layups, fumbling the ball, and it was just a disaster when it came to LaMelo Ball trying to increase his assist stat. I believe with the Minnesota Timberwolves, he should be able to average 8 to 10 assists a night.
Easily, easily. Is this a much better supporting cast than he had in Charlotte?
Like, don't do that.
I
Don't
mean,
do that.
obviously you got
Don't do that. Like
Ant Man.
that's egregious what you just asked me.
Outside of Ant Man, though,
And gratuitous in nature. Are you kidding me? Like a much better cast than Charlotte?
I'm
He
just.
never
I
played
mean,
with an
I just
all-star
feel
in
like it's
Charlotte.
heavy. It's heavy on the Ant Man.
He never played with a current all-star in Charlotte. Yes, Gordon Hayward was an all-star, but Gordon Hayward was on the downside of his career due to injury. So he was a shell of his former self. With Ant-Man, he's playing with a current all-star. Rudy Gobert, a recent all-star. Of course, this roster is 10 times better than the Charlotte Hornets because they never surround LaMelo Ball with suitable talent. Miles Bridges was one of the closest, but Miles Bridges was already there. They had already drafted Miles Bridges when LaMelo came in. Miles Bridges was one season in. So he didn't come with or after to help LaMelo. He was already in uniform. And since then, who they get? Ish Smith? Who they get? Theo Maladone? Who they get? Isaiah Thomas? Who they get? You feel me?
Uh,
Montrezl Harrell? I mean, you want me to roll call?
that's right. Yeah.
You understand what I'm going? I'm not even talking about their draft picks. I'm talking about people out of free agency.
When they got Harold, we thought they was doing something.
for a minute, but Harold had another mission. You know what I mean? Harold had another agenda. Trez, Trez was on some other shit. I was shocked that they even picked him up. To be honest with you, I was shocked that they would want a player of his ilk in Charlotte, and now they see what they got. Trez has always been, one of them dudes that had one foot in the streets and one foot on the court. I seen it firsthand. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, they probably this guy Dante DiVincenzo. He gonna be out probably the whole season.
It's okay.
He probably
They,
be back
they, they they're not gonna miss him.
after All Star break. If he comes back, he got hurt in the playoffs. He is a shooter.
Yep, he's a shooter, but I think that where they going with this, he will be a helpful addition if he was healthy. But since he's not healthy, they get a larger dose of Io DeSumo.
Yeah, that is true. They just need to hold on, wait for Dante to come back. That's gonna be a whole nother dynamic. Lamelo ain't played with nobody like him. No shooter like him. That'd be crazy. Lamelo and Dante?
What you forgot about Khan?
No, yeah, you all right about that. I'm tripping. But good call. But I'm talking about yeah, you right about that. Khan was just one season, so it almost felt like it was a blimp on the radar. That's my bad. Um for Minnesota, him and Khan would be crazy. I mean him and Dante would be crazy. Because I think Dante's a good shooter too. He obviously not like Khan, but he can shoot. If he get hot, he's clutch too. Dante hit big shots. So it's different from to me almost a guy who can shoot or who can hit them big shots in the clutch. When palms get sweaty, man, I'm telling you, Dante gonna make the shot.
So we're going to really see what Lamelo is made of, because now it's required for every dribble to be calculated and every dribble to be of a meaningful source to get a basket.
That's right. We got they got the NBA cups. The cup shit is out right now. They just announced the groups.
Yeah, that's going to be played in Indianapolis in the college,
It
but at
is.
University of Butler, I believe at University of Butler, they're going to play. They're going to play the championship game there. They ain't going to be in Vegas.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. You got Group B. You got Minnesota, OKC, Clippers, Memphis, and New Orleans. The only team in that group that pose a threat is OKC. I'm looking out west, man. Minnesota might do something. Everybody got to stay healthy. Health is key this year, man. I'm telling you. With Charles Lee, he working with his guys. I'm looking at Charles Lee. He in the gym working with McNeely. He look like he gonna lean on his guys. The Charlotte Hornets moving in another direction. LeBron James is not, another thing. Dex, what's your thoughts about LeBron coming out and saying that it's not about money? This time around, it's going to be legitimately a chance to win a title. Do you believe that?
No,
He
you
left
can't really
LA.
believe LeBron. You can't really believe LeBron when he speaks to the media, because he speaks with a forked tongue.
Yeah,
If he says not about money, what is it about? I don't believe that it's all about winning a championship, right? Because you went to LA and they had one of the youngest rosters in the league, if not the youngest in the league. And they was coming off a piss poor record playing well below 500 basketball, and you went to LA. So what do you mean? I find that very disturbing. And when LA, as me and DJ Gemini spoke about earlier, when LA didn't surround him with the prototypical players that had made LeBron successful in the past, he wasn't barking. LeBron wasn't barking, you know. So Rich Paul wasn't barking either. So he was in LA. He was comfortable. I mean, he became a billionaire on the court. He had a lot of off court financial endeavors in LA. The Hollywood thing and the second largest media market. So he had his wonderful time in LA. So if championship was the prime thing on his mind, I think he would have pursued pur- purple and gold a little different. Your mic on mute.
Oh, shit, my bad. Listen, man, we got some breaking news in the NBA right now, ladies and gentlemen. LeBron James could be headed to Minneapolis, Minnesota, to play with Lamelo Ball, NB1, the one of one, and Ant Man, Anthony Edwards. Dex, look at the shoe brands. You know, if LeBron was to come there, you know, you would have Adidas, Puma, and now Nike. I mean, wouldn't that be a juggernaut? You know, in itself. I think everybody. I mean, I guess LeBron can't get no much better with. I guess with his shoes, there's obviously improvements, but guys like Lamelo and Ant got a lot to gain. You know, with LeBron and your on your roster, don't you think?
Well, like you say, LeBron James' reign in the shoe game is basically coming to an end, right?
That's right.
As well as KD. Um, we already see the jersey sale has declined, and Steph Curry's the number one jersey sale in the NBA, and they haven't really been that relevant since they won the NBA championship. Um, I don't think LeBron entering the shoe brand wars will be able to disrupt anything that Ant Man and Lamelo got going on. Lamelo do have a stronghold with the youth when it comes to the shoes, and that's where you want to be. You want to get up under the market. You feel me? You don't want the market to outgrow you. So by Lamelo having his shoe, excuse me, his shoes worn by the youth, then that shows that there's some sustainability in market sales, and he will still have his position in the market when it comes to the shoe branding wars.
Yeah, that's right. These shoe brands deals gonna be looking crazy, especially potential future deals. Do you think Lamelo and Puma is in a good place?
I mean,
We don't know.
it's hard to it's hard to say because we ain't seeing Lamelo on that jet. I mean, that private jet anymore. We only
Yeah,
saw him on that jet a couple of times. You know what I mean? So, will that start back? Will he have access to that private jet again? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So when we see stuff like that, we have to ask ourselves, how long will this marriage last? And by him teaming up with Ant Man, do he go to a more established NBA shoe brand? Who knows? That one I don't know. All I'm just saying is that a lot of the hoopla that deals with the ownership of Puma with Lamelo Ball, I don't really see much of it. Lamelo is concentrating on the friends. Um, I think more so than MB1. He's just allowing them to promote MB1. while he promoting the friends.
Yeah, LeBron James came out with a statement. He basically thanked the Lakers. He said that no, thank you. Truly an honor to wear the purple and gold while trying to continuing the greatness and legacies that came before me. I hope I made a few proud during my stint. What do you take from that?
I tell that he felt he was never appreciated.
Dubs won't commit to LeBron. Dubs want LeBron's commitment. Warriors looking for James deal before pursuing AD trade. ESPN.
AD is
So
done.
that this just came
What?
out just now.
Well, AD is done. According to reports,
Well, hey, we don't
the
know that.
Wizards said,
We don't know
yeah,
that.
that's true. They always change up, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't know that. They'll
For the
put the
for the
price
right
up.
price. Hey, you know what the old saying is? For the right price, I just might.
Yeah. So as I'm saying, before they pursue the trade, they probably got some things. It's probably a tug of war going on.
Well, have you heard anything new about the AD thing? The last thing we heard is that, according to ESPN, is that AD is off the market.
I did hear that was the last thing I heard too. So it's a tough call. I really can't tell you right now. Let me look at what the hell's going on here. That shit is crazy. Lamelo Ball, man, he's cooking. That would change the balance of the Western Conference, though, Dax. Hopefully, it don't go down like that. 'Cause that'll be crazy.
So you got Brandon Ingram in the Western Conference now, right? LaMelo Ball's in the Western Conference. Who else new that came to the Western Conference that's of significance?
Um, Nobody outside of what you mean, like out from Melo?
Through all the trades and free agency.
It was Lamelo.
LaMelo and Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, I guess Ingram he returning to the West.
Yep, he returning. Exactly.
Yeah, so I guess that's why I feel like, oh, what the hell? It's interesting to see what some of these players like Melo, what they do out west too. Because he was in the Eastern Conference for a while. Now it's different. It's different teams now that he gonna have to worry about. You have to worry about everybody, but now you're gonna be playing. The Western
It's
Conference
different.
teams.
Yeah, it's different competition, no doubt.
Yeah, it's different. You still play Western Conference teams. He's still gonna be playing Eastern Conference teams, but the West I think might suit Melo's game a lot. They run the scoreboard up. Hopefully he can play some defense too. It's not just offense. Hopefully he becomes a willing defender. We don't need him to be around on tests, but can he go out there and be some just can he do something? You know, do you think that Melo could be um, a willing defender?
Yeah, I think LaMelo can be a willing defender. He proved that in Charlotte when he made the commitment with Charles Lee and company that he will focus more on defense and try to improve. And we've seen that the refs was flagging him a lot in his efforts to play defense. So LaMelo was trying to mimic what it was. LaMelo don't have no style on defense, so it's kind of difficult for the referees to adjust to his game and to allow him to say, okay, that's LaMelo style, so we're gonna go with that. He played defense differently. Sometimes night in and night out. 1 minute he want to play passing lane defense, 1 minute he want to play on-ball defense, 1 minute he want to play zone defense. So sometimes it confuses the referee when you're trying to establish yourself. You have to just be consistent in one defensive posture, and then once the referee understands that's your defensive posture, you can move to other elements of the defensive scheme. So now that he's in a new conference, I think however this is the time that he can establish himself. If you want to be an unball defender, if you want to be a passing lane defender, if you want to be a zone defender. You know what I mean? However way he feel he can disrupt any opposing offense, he just need to figure it out and just put both feet in the on the hardwood and go for it, and then let the referee hopefully adjust to his style of play. You know what I mean? Because if you're just going to play different kind of defense in different ways, then the referee, it's hard for them to really judge of what you do good.
Good call, Dax. Um, LeBron is the truth when he is locked in. We all know he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to have his jersey retired in multiple locations. Um, LeBron definitely gets his jersey retired with the Lakers, right?
I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think so, bro.
Wow, come on.
I
He
don't
won.
think so. Because
The
Jeannie
Lakers
Buss
got
would have.
different standards.
You got to remember though, Jeannie Buss had already planned on retiring LeBron jersey, and even uh, uh, give him a damn statue. She was contemplating that because LeBron gave her a championship. That's
Yeah,
Jeannie Buss'
that was,
first
that was
championship,
her
and the first woman championship, right?
right.
So that's they made history together. So she could have done it and got away with it because there's a backstory to that. You know, being a female owner and things of that nature. Now there's a new ownership group running the Lakers, and LeBron haven't done nothing for them. So that 23 jersey would be would be on somebody else's back as soon as he leaves.
Yeah, you ain't lying about that. You know, the Lakers definitely got two different standards. Well, I mean, you remember it was a situation. I'm gonna take you back to because we talk about standards. Um, it was a situation that happened years ago with Isaiah Thomas, with the Boston Celtics when he left, and I think Paul Pierce. They was doing a Paul Pierce night, and he was supposed to. Isaiah Thomas was coming there. I guess his first game back, and the Celtics was gonna give him a tribute video, and Rondo and all of them came out and lost it. Mind you, they was gonna do this on a Paul Pierce night. That was violation in itself. That should have never even been up for discussion. I don't even know how they could even do some shit like that. Um, the, Rondo accused the Celtics of lowering their standards. So this guy he won the championship. I'm talking about LeBron. Now, Isaiah didn't win a damn thing. I'm pretty sure LeBron will get a tribute video because the Lakers did it for everybody. Um, why wouldn't he get his jersey retired though? I mean that's to me that just sounds crazy, especially after he did secure the title in the bubble. They
But a
but
tribute video and retiring of jerseys, two different things.
yeah, I
The
think he
reason,
deserves a jersey retirement. I think you got to honor that Laker team that won. You know what? I think you got to go with LeBron. If you want to give it, you got to. Well, shit, I don't know. Y'all, AD was there, man. I think you got to retire AD number two. LeBron and AD got to get retired, man. They was a part of that championship, Dax.
don't bring that Nick philosophy bullshit
Yeah,
over here.
they was a part of that title. Listen, now the Knicks, they got to retire a lot of numbers. Shamit, Shamit got to get his jersey. Listen, we got to get
Deuce,
Shamit his jersey
Deuce, don't
retired.
forget Deuce now.
Oh, that Duke's got to get his jersey. Mitch, but Mitch, everybody getting their jersey retired. Man, they're gonna hang up that whole damn fucking team.
They gonna have no more numbers. They gonna
You
have
know
to
what?
use triple
They gonna
numbers.
celebrate that team, goddamn it. Brunson, I'm telling you, he gonna get the statue. I'm telling you, when it's all said and done, his statue gonna be outside of Madison Square Garden forever.
But Bronson won a real championship.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I
Brunson
mean?
is
There's
the
no
truth,
question.
man.
And he beat
Listen,
Wimby, where the
Brunson the
Spurs
best
was the
player in the NBA
overwhelming
right
favorite.
now. Point blank, period. I said it. Brunson is the best player in the league. Until proven otherwise. I don't give a shit. It's Brunson.
How
It
you
just
gonna be the best player in the league and you don't win MVP?
he the best player in the league right now. Right now. He's the king of the league, point blank. I don't want to hear a damn thing. He would have gave Shea and them the business too. You know, it's just his. It was he. He was the best player in the league this season, especially in the playoffs, and he was the best player in the playoffs. That was undisputed. You know, I mean, you had Cat doing his thing. You know, if you follow the Knicks, they gave teams the blueprint to beat the San Antonio Spurs. Don't you think a lot of these teams fear Wemby, Dax? You know, what didn't the Knicks show the blueprint what Cat did?
Well, OKC had a blueprint to beat them as well. They just got injured. Yeah, no doubt, because those games were close. I mean, Spurs had two games where they was blowing the Knicks out and let the Knicks come back twice. So if the Spurs won both of those games, they would have been up 3-2. So I don't know if they gave them the blueprint to beat the Spurs or not. I don't know. It's just that the coaching wasn't up to par. Because okay, you lose one of those games, you're blowing the Knicks out, but you're not supposed to lose two.
Yeah, yeah, Dax. The West is definitely doing a lot of movement right now, man. And you got LeBron at the forefront. I just hope LeBron don't have all these organizations holding up everything. You just seen the Golden State Warriors. You know, like I said, LeBron has free agency in the palm of his hands right now, Dex. You had a LeBron, you had Golden State saying they want LeBron's commitment. Teams need something, you know, and right now is very unfair. You're gonna have a lot of people, the Dorans of the world, obviously the Lakers, they open for business, but a lot of teams are going to be hesitant right now to move when you got LeBron possibly dwindling, talking about he interested in all 30 teams. You know what I mean? What kind of shit is that?
No, damn well you're not interested in the Jazz.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They really trying to fuck with the league. You know, so what do you think about that?
Well, LeBron is butthurt right now. You know, he let that white boy
Right.
take over his team, and he ain't feeling that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he just gotta sit down somewhere in a dark space and self reflect, and then come out being legit. Because right now he's butthurt. Luca took over the team. The new ownership, Magic back in the building, so he can't bully nobody, and that's why he just want to take his talent elsewhere. But for him to just sit back and just think that everybody is salivating for him to come to their organization, who wants to go to Golden State right now? They freaking older than Methuselah. You know what I mean? That's the over the hill gang. And if you add LeBron, you definitely gonna be over the hill gang. So right now, Golden State is one of the oldest team in the league. I think they're like averaging 30 30 years. You know what I'm saying? They're averaging 30 years old, and you bring LeBron there, it's gonna increase that to like 37. So I don't know what Golden State is thinking. You know what I mean? Maybe just to pair up LeBron and Steph Curry as they both ride out to the sunset with Draymond Green. I don't know. Get them all off the books at the same time. I don't know. But I just don't see anybody clamoring for LeBron James at 42 years old in his 24th season.
Yeah. You know, definitely you see LeBron James with his age. It sounds like you feel like he lost some equity. Um, it's crazy, Dax. You know, but don't sleep on what he could bring to the table. You know, even at his age, if he's bought in, he could definitely get Lamelo locked in. I think to a level that we haven't seen. Can't you agree?
Say that again.
I said if LeBron is focused, don't you think he can get Lamelo and Ant Man, you know, to a level that we haven't seen? You know, at the very least.
LeBron don't give a shit about that.
No.
LeBron is LeBron.
Mm.
He's not. Listen, if LeBron felt that way, and this was LeBron sentiments. And he followed those sentiments into the Lakers. He wouldn't have traded that young core. He don't care about young players. LeBron is like, if you can play, play. If you can't play, you won't be here for long. That's his thing. But he cannot bring that type of mentality to Minnesota because Minnesota's already established themselves. They got rid of Big Cat and they're still competitive. Got rid of their number one overall draft pick, perennial all star, and still competitive.
Still,
Sometimes that don't happen, man. You get rid of somebody of that caliber, you don't you don't be that competitive. But Minnesota is still competitive because they got Anthony Edwards and they got a coach that knows how to coach.
yeah. It hasn't this been a while, off season so far with all of the player movement. You know, you got a lot going on. You got Miles Bridges, Lamelo, Giannis, Ja, Kawhi, um, shit, Tyler Hero, and all of them. Not now, LeBron James' name is in the fold. What do you think about all of this player movement we've seen?
I like player movement. It brings exciting and mystery to the upcoming season. When there's little player movement, you kind of you can predict basically a repeat of the previous season. So with all of this player movement going into different locations, it makes you want to watch more NBA games in a variety just to see what these players do in new uniforms.
Yeah. Good call on that. Shout out to Dodgers in the chat. The Wolves have a coach that players respect. Um, yeah, I think so. I want to see how Lamelo gels with these
He
guys.
said, "Don't respect."
Oh, they don't. Oh, okay, oh, my bad. I don't know why I missed that line. Oh, they don't respect. I mean, I know the end is pretty harsh. So I mean, that's why I bring up Chris Finch's name because I don't know how good he is. I'll be able to really evaluate him this season, but he could be a lame duck. And this was Ant's coach. Now you got a whole nother situation coming. You got Lamelo. You might want to they might want to bring in somebody who suits both of their talents. Than just this guy being Ant's yes man. You know, I want to see if he's not that. So we're gonna find out in a little while. I can't wait till we see Lamelo Ball on a new team, new roster, superstar talent, superstar co-star. That might be exactly what the doctor ordered. We've always asked for Lamelo Ball to have a team. Like, what the fuck? Like, can Lamelo get a quality basketball team? It just a season ago, it looked like he finally was there, and then they traded everybody. So it's crazy. It looks like nothing was going to give. Even if the Hornets made the playoffs, they was going to trade everybody. I guess they would have to make a conference finals run for them to just stay pat. But Peterson was ready to move on. I do think if the Hornets would have went to the playoffs and maybe won the first round, you're gonna put a lot of pressure on your organization because they would have definitely been able to beat um the Detroit Pistons, in my humble opinion. That was just disgusting that they didn't get an opportunity to go up against the Detroit Pistons because that would have really been a good opportunity. Dex, don't you think what if the Hornets would have beat the Detroit Pistons and they advanced to the playoffs? Do you think that we are having Lamelo in Minnesota today?
I think
Not,
it is. Sorry to interrupt.
yeah, I was saying probably not, because like you said, that would have been a hard pitch to the fan base. Um, it'd have been overwhelmingly obvious that Charlotte really don't want to win, and they're taking a page out of Michael Jordan's playbook by getting the fan base all aroused and galvanizing them around the spirit of hope, but all along feeding them a low quality product. And since they only reached the play in and got buried by the Orlando Magic in the elimination game, that gave Jeff Peterson an out to go ahead and dump all of this salary. And there's no reason to pay LaMelo Ball $300 million, and we cannot reach the playoffs. So let's redo this thing again. Let's build it from the ground up with Charlotte, with Hornets DNA, and continue the culture of winning and competitive spirit. You know what I mean? Or competitive joy, like he say. I like to say spirit, but he like to say competitive joy. And let's whoop some ass, Charlotte. And knowing damn well they're not gonna whoop no ass. Go ahead, Nick.
If somehow the Hornets would have advanced further into the playoffs, I still think they might have let go of Lamelo because I think they may have would have tried to get some better value out of him. I still think they wanted to move on. Plus, again, the $300 million waiting for him on the other side of that. So it's like, yeah, it'll be a hard sell, but they believe they got a new group of guys that they can move forward with. And they were really tired of LaMelo's injury. So maybe they would have tried to get another all-star, maybe. But I think they would have still tried to reach for a better value at least before letting him go. I still think they would have traded him anyway.
So, Nick, do you think now Jeff Peterson have set himself up to overpay for talent to come to Charlotte now?
No, I don't think so. I think this team needs to push for an actual playoff positioning. And let's say if you do get to playoffs and you're able to push further than you did when you had LaMelo, then maybe yes. But otherwise, until that team shows themselves that they can actually get there without another big time star yet, they're still, bottom of the barrel. They kind of have to slightly restart because you had your star player. Who else wants to come there? They're going to get traded, or if it doesn't work out, who knows?
And not only did they have their star player, he had experience. You know, he wasn't no newbie into the league. You know, he was going into his seventh season, and that's what Michael Jordan won his first championship going into his seventh season. LeBron was one of the freak of nature to get to the NBA Finals. You know, pretty young in his career. You know, but that don't happen often. Just like Wemby, you know, that doesn't happen often. Look how long it took Shea to get there. Look how long with Tatum in them. You feel me? So
My bad. I'm about to join live stream.
yeah, we see you, Marcus. Yeah, so it I don't know, man. It just don't sit well with me. But Jeff is the Wonder Boy genius, and I just think he wanted to get rid all that money and keep that money in the ownership pocket for the time being until he have to use it. If he don't have to use it, then that money goes back into what you call it, being reimbursed for that $3 billion they paid for the team. What say you, Marcus?
Huh? My
What say
bad.
you?
I ain't know I was already up in here. What you talking about, Dex? How y'all doing, man?
Yeah. We talking about LeBron James. Minnesota Timberwolves have shown interest in acquiring LeBron James talent.
you say you say Minnesota?
Yes, Minnesota,
Oh
Miami,
Lord. Oh God.
Golden State.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I'm kinda I'm so happy for LaMelo and this
Clippers.
the
He
million.
might go to the Clippers though.
Yeah, LeBron ain't going to Minnesota, bro.
Clippers
It'd
don't
be
got
nice
nobody,
though.
right? Who the Clippers got? Clippers wide open. Kawhi gone. They not only is it still in LA, but The money is there. They can pay LeBron, and they need a star to fill up them seats in the Inuit Dome.
Hey, how
Yeah.
you doing? I think I don't think LeBron's going to the Clippers. They're not known for being a winner. And you traded a guy Kawhi for a guy who came up short in the playoffs. So what is he going over there for? He's barely moving the needle to help them win. He's going to need extra help, other all stars to help to go with him to even play there. I don't think he wants to go to Clippers for sure.
You can get players to come to the Clippers before you get them to come to Charlotte. That's for sure.
True. If I were the Clippers, I'll wait till next summer. If no, Nikola Jokic finds himself wanting to be free, if Clippers is wide open, he wants to come there. I mean, to have his own legacy in a way to
I
still have
think
his
the
own legacy.
Jokic want to go to Chicago.
I don't know. But if the Clippers is wide open, he wants to go there, then maybe I consider Clippers. But otherwise, I'm not. I wouldn't if I was LeBron.
I'm just saying there's nobody there. The money is good. I know they just acquired Brandon Ingram, but LeBron has already been in LA and his family is there. He's not going to uproot his family and move. So going right down the street to Inglewood would be very feasible for the James family. Hell, he could take Bronny with him. What'd you think about that, Flight?
Well, if anything is possible in the NBA, because ever since my unfortunately my team traded Luca to the Lakers, it's been open season on all the superstars. So it's possible, but I don't think he'll go to the Clippers, even if
Now,
you bring his son.
now speaking about the Dallas Mavericks, what they do with Kyrie, what they do
I
with
think
PJ Washington, because PJ Washington might go to the Minnesota Timberwolves also. They're talking about acquiring PJ Washington from the Dallas Mavericks.
I'm wondering who they're gonna trade for him, unless he does a buyout. I don't see him leaving the team. Maybe in the trade if they need like extra young guy or extra picks or whatever. Because I believe they're probably trying to load up on picks for the upcoming seasons because they don't have any picks. That's the only reason they will unload off of him. But to me, I would keep everybody and keep Kawhi. I mean, Kyrie until like maybe close to what's that trade deadline.
Yeah.
See with everybody together, and if they're making real moves and playing real hard to be in the playoffs, like shoot, I'm keeping everybody.
But do Kyrie want to be playing with a rookie that's running the team? Well, not a rookie anymore, but a sophomore running the team. Can Kyrie trust that?
I see a guy who's continuously increasing every game, so I believe he could work with him. But honestly, he got 1 year left, so if he wanted to, he'll walk and he'll find somewhere else to be if he wanted to. Or he just tell him, hey, just go ahead and trade me, get whatever value you want. He'll just tell him that. But otherwise, I think they want to see what they got with Kyrie before they trade him or let him walk.
You talking about want to see what they got with Kyrie and Cooper Flag?
Yes.
Okay. You ready there, Marcus? You ready to go on your infamous rant?
I have no rants today. I'm in a good mood, man. Do
Why
me
are you in a
like
good mood?
that. I'm always in a good mood, man. It's
Okay, but why today? Is there
every.
anything that sparked that?
What do you mean? I don't know. Why you set me up, bro? What I do? No, I don't know. What am I missing, man?
Well, how you
What am I
feeling
missing?
about what's been going down in the NBA landscape about LeBron dismissing himself from the Lakers' future?
I mean, I heard. I don't know, I heard a little something, bro. I don't really care about LeBron like that. I heard a little something. I mean, so he could not play. You know, he could probably just not play next season. You know, so think about that too. So, you know, you don't technically have to play that, you know, so but I don't really care about him like that. Somebody in the comments was like, LeBron won't go to the Timberwolves because he don't want to have to babysit Lamelo. Lamelo Ball ain't got to be babysit. He's straight. You know what I mean? But LeBron might not play, bro. But uh, uh, I all what I've heard is something about the Warriors or the Miami Heat or something. But I ain't really tripping, man. You know, I'm just trying to see what LaMelo Ball and the Timberwolves gonna do, and see who else they gonna pick, put together with the team, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? So,
I think PJ Washington would be a good addition to the Timberwolves
mm, I don't
because
know.
he can stretch the floor and he don't have to really go all out on the defensive end to try to stop the next power forward. But he can be that offensive threat because the
I
Minnesota
don't want,
Timberwolves.
I don't want him no more.
You don't want PJ Washington?
No, nah, my spidey sense is telling me hell to the nah, bro. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I don't not like him, but I mean, um, the last time I was here, Pope was talking about championship or bust for the Wolves. Now that Lamelo Ball was over there, and after I was chilling for a minute, you know, I think they got a dope team. And hypothetically, if they was in the finals, you know, who would they need or what would they need to do to win? You feel me? So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I think Lamelo Ball low key can get a championship over there, right? Um, but I'm not the analytical guy. Like I don't know. I feel like I don't know what else they would need, bro. Like I don't know. You know what I mean? But I think between I think between him and whatever they got going on, I think they can pull that off because Anthony Edwards already get to the finals. So Lamelo Ball and his ego, they ain't gonna be able to tell that man shit. That man might shoot the ball. Lamelo Ball crazy. I mean, so yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward. I can't wait to the season.
With Rudy Gobert on the team still,
Oh, they're not
the,
done though. They're
that's
not
what I'm
done.
saying. That's why I believe
Yeah.
that PJ could be a good fit because they need something out of that four. Right now, it's Jalen McDaniels, and he's kind of thin in the pants,
Mm.
and his 3-point shooting is not as accurate as PJ Washington.
I'm not saying
So
yes
they
or
got to
no to
stretch the
that.
floor for Rudy
I don't
Gobert to be
know.
successful.
I don't know, bro. I personally don't know if they were put him. I wouldn't say it would be good or bad. I think it you would know more than me. I only say that because I'm they already I think they already played together. You know what I'm saying? So I mean I ain't tripping, but I mean if it worked or however you see the fit, I know the Bulls ain't done doing their thing. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I don't know. I don't think that far. I just like to look at it organically and be a fan. You know what I'm saying? So that be me. So on that note, if you see something there that's together, I might have to think about that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you might be on to something. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I believe the chemistry. I believe the chemistry would still be
Mm.
intact if PJ Washington was to come over from the Mavericks to the Timberwolves. And Lamelo is familiar with his game, so it won't be any surprise. It wouldn't interfere with Anthony Edwards because PJ is just sitting on the arc, waiting for the pass and the open shot because he's trying to stretch the floor, and that give Rudy Gobert a free run to the basket for second chance opportunities. And that's what made Musa Diabate so useful in the Charlotte Hornets offense because when they had everybody stretched out with Miles Bridges, Con Knipple, Brandon Miller, Melo Ball, they had everybody stretched out. That left Musa Diabate one on one with a slow big. And
Mm.
so that could be replicated with Rudy Gobert at times. Leave him with a slow big, and with Rudy Gobert height, he's gonna get the offensive rebound and just put it right back.
What PJ Washington? What was he doing last year?
It was serviceable.
I mean, what was he doing? I mean, um, all right. So
You know what? I think the Mad Timberwolves getting LeBron would definitely be a be a big help as far as that power forward position or small forward position. There's another guy on the Mavericks team, the center guy. He's a roaming type guy. Someone they
You
might
got
need on the
Lively,
team.
Derek Lively,
The other guy, it's the other one.
Gafford,
Yeah,
Daniel
him.
Gafford.
The only problem is his contract may be too large for them to take on unless they have to trade somebody else. So unless he asks for a buyout, it's just not going to happen. So, but that's why I think LeBron would be a big help to that team because he can play multiple positions. He really could, and I think if need be on a certain any given night, he could just focus on defending if as they need it. So that's to me what they need. A guy like LeBron who could play multiple positions and his IQ would definitely put the team over the top and help with defense.
You saying LeBron will help on defense?
Yeah, if he had to, yes, he could. Anthony Edwards, Lamelo, they are was Io. If he's on the team, yeah, they could do the offensive stuff. It's just some of the defensive stuff. Help Gobert a little bit on defense to make sure nobody, just all crazy in the paint. He can help with that. I know it might not be the best fit with LeBron, but he's the best option. I think what he was doing with the Joker, I think he was excellent with that guy. So you need someone else, big body that can move, probably catch a lob or two, or could definitely shoot if need be too. Also, so he would be a good fit.
Yeah, he definitely held it down against the Joker. Um, so with the Minnesota having a glaring shortage of depth in the front court in the absence of Julius Randle and Nas Reed, and Julius Randle, we know that he was solid as a Minnesota Timberwolves. Now he got his talent in Brooklyn. And we definitely know Nas Reed was on the incline as he was the 2024 Sixth Man of the Year. And he got his talent in Charlotte now. So the only real uh, talent they have at the forward is Jaden Jaden McDaniels. So that's why I said PJ Washington could help plug in the void of shortage in the Minnesota Timberwolves roster in the front court. Or you got another target out there, but Minnesota do have some financial limitations. Let's not forget that. And as free agency negotiation opens, the Minnesota front office, led by Tim Connolly, is limited financially, right? They are constrained by luxury tax rules and likely only have a 6.1 million taxpayer mid-level exception, MLE, mid-level exception, or veteran minimum contracts to offer. And I want to ask y'all, I like PJ Washington, right? Now, what y'all think about John Collins as a free agent option to Minnesota? He shoots 40% from the three, so that's good, right?
That sounds good. I'm not sure if there's anybody else available because to me, I think it just needs another big body to make sure that the paint is taken care of. Gobert has some extra help or defense as needed. It's just I think somebody probably a little bit bigger. That's why I say Gafford is a good choice. Maybe LeBron.
I don't think
Um,
Ford is available though. You know,
uh,
I think he's locked in,
I don't know. I don't know.
and Minnesota don't have much to trade for, so they have to kind of go into free agent and find options in that aspect of NBA acquisition. So John, I like PJ Washington, but he's kind of locked in too. But then you got John Collins. I mean, that could be something good. But John Collins don't play defense. At least PJ play a little defense. John Collins, I don't think you have nothing to do with defense.
As far as the 3 or 4 position, it's anybody's choice. But I would suggest someone but y'all gonna laugh at me if I suggest this person. If they get into shape and actually, help on defense. Just focus on defense. That's what this person could do. But Ben Simmons, that's what I'm thinking.
But Ben Simmons been so removed from basketball. Is he in shape? Is he ready to go?
This is everywhere. I think everybody
Is he
laugh at me.
mentally there?
He's
No,
a
that's
good
not something to laugh at.
guy.
That's not something to laugh at. That's you know you got you got PJ Washington, right?
Yeah.
You you got Jonathan Isaac. How y'all feel about that? You got Dorian Finley Smith. I think that's a good one. He played good for the Lakers when he was with the Lakers. He played pretty good.
I finish Smith. That's a guy that I think fit pretty good right there with that team.
So you like Dorian Finley Smith?
Doran Finney Smith, I think it would be a good pickup. I mean, John Collins, if he's available, maybe it's just another guy you can add to the team later. Or if it doesn't work out with any other free agent, maybe you can bring him on. Because I remember seeing him in the playoffs. This guy was just on fire with Trey Young years ago. I just seen the energy the guy brought. The guy in a winning situation. I still remember that guy right there. He still got it in him. But to me, Ben Simmons might be a guy. Like, but honestly, I would make sure his contract is like, non-guaranteed because I need you to show up. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, because Minnesota has very little draft capital remaining, right? And any trade must utilize existing roster talent. So it's not really much left on that roster that they probably can get anything significant for. So you got Mo Wagner. I think he's available out of Orlando. He's a high energy floor spacer, right? He could complement star center Rudy Gobert. Mo Wagner.
Hmm.
That could be
That's
a
can you
good
hear
one.
me? I think my mic is muted for a hot minute.
Yeah, your mic was muted.
Yeah, I was talking
Somebody
all
else
this
just came up
shit
here.
too
Oh yeah,
loud.
that's Purple Baby. Shout out to Purple Baby. Purple
Who
Baby,
is
what you
it?
think about some of the names I mentioned to plug in the shortage of front court talent for the Minnesota Timberwolves in the absence of Julius Randle and Nas Reed?
I don't like none of the names. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You don't like John Collins?
Let's blurt out some
Nope.
of their stats though, real quick. Because Dex, while you was shouting out the names, I was pulling up all these stats. So I don't want
Okay,
to say
okay,
no
hold
to
on,
nothing.
Marcus.
Go
Marcus, hold
ahead.
on, hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead,
sir.
Purple Baby.
No, I just feel like this remind me like for the past 10 years, 15 years, when any team LeBron has been on and then they get top heavy, like they get the three players, and then they get top heavy, and then it's like they scrapping for role players or guys that are serviceable to be on a roster and stuff, just for them to either trade these guys midway through the season or just drop them altogether that following season. That's what I feel like. I feel like being that Minnesota's hard cap and stuff, you just looking, you were aware prior to you trading for LaMelo Ball that there was a possibility or that you were going to be hard cap. You went through with it anyway. Like, I don't understand. Personally, I would have tried to find somebody for Rudy and stuff like that. Like, try to see if I could get off of Rudy Gobert for like Jalen Duran. We didn't know he was unhappy until now, but like something they should have thought about it first. Like that way
Okay,
you could fill out your
before we
roster
let
better.
Marcus go,
And then
let
I am
Marcus
too.
go. And
Now I ain't got too much to say. I just was.
but I just want to address Purple real quick.
Mm,
Purple, Rudy got to be there for Joker because it
I
seemed like Rudy was the
understand.
Joker stopper.
And I understand that, but if you knew you was like, okay, the day before the trade, we only hear rumors, right? But let's say Minnesota and Charlotte knew what the media didn't, and they wasn't really trying to talk to somebody. So you knew you was going to bring LaMelo in, and there was a possibility. Well, I'm saying a possibility because I'm not sure. I would hope that they would know how they stuff work. But you knew with re-signing Ayo, I think what, a week before, I believe, and then bringing in LaMelo Ball, that it was going to hard cap you. Why, like, why resign Ayo or Gobert? Like, you could have did, you should have. I don't know. I just don't like scrapping for players, and stuff like that. Guys that you wouldn't even think about going for if you had the money.
I ain't mad at it.
So what kind of stats you got? What kind of stats you got, Marcus?
No, it's just you were saying all the people that can potentially go to the Timberwolves. So I mean, if you're saying it with the stats, and then you kind of gotta have a different outlook, like because I don't know these dudes stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and then on top of that, like LaMelo Ball, once you playing with him, he kind of makes shit different. You feel me? So you can have nothing going on whatever you got going on your team. You can get to playing with LaMelo Ball, and he can just figure out how to get you in the game. That's just how he do. The next thing you know, you get to building up your ego, and it's a wrap. So, but but I don't know. When you said PJ and John Collins, I mean, it just looking at what they got going on, it makes sense. I say hell no to Jonathan Isaac and Derek Finney, hell no. Mo Wagner, hell no. So you might be on to something with PJ Washington. That makes sense. I wasn't even thinking that far. So um, I just hope it work out. You feel me? I trust them on the Mellow Ball and whatever they got going on. So yeah, we good.
Do
I
you
hope
know what the
Minnesota too. But I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I wish you guys best and have a good night, y'all.
Okay, Nick.
Do you know who the cheapest salary like per year that a player signed for?
The cheapest?
Yeah, who's making like the least amount of money? Like, because I would
Mm.
assume that it's probably like 10 to 15 a year.
Oh, that's cheaper than that sometimes.
Yes, cheaper than that.
Sometimes they can sign a player for like
I'm not
Three
talking about like
million.
the
10.
players
What
that
you
be in the what's that called, in the G
I think
League and
I
stuff like
think
that. Not those players, because
maybe
these
6
players
million.
are already established, like Collins and all that. Collins,
mm,
You talk
Isaacson.
about
I don't,
veteran minimum?
yeah, I don't think they would take 6 million. So that's why I'm asking
mm.
players that's already well established and stuff like that. What's the cheapest that player is making?
I have the
See,
slightest idea, to be honest with you.
yeah, I wouldn't know neither.
But that's what
Free
Minnesota.
agency is here though. Y'all gotta think people is gonna want to come play with Lamelo Ball, and Anthony Edwards, and then what is it, Rudy? Yeah, people gonna want to play with them, man.
Of course, I agree that
Mm,
they want to come play with them, but they gonna want their money too.
yeah,
But part of that deal, you got to
I ain't
remember.
I ain't pocket watching right now.
I
You
mean,
got
I'm not
they
watching either, but it's a thing.
Timberwolves ain't done yet, right? So if they got 6 to 10 million to only play with right now,
It's
and they
mid-level though,
and
because
then they
they're hard cap.
still, hey
I don't
man,
think a player is gonna take a contract for $6 million. That's
hmm.
so what 25 years
So
ago.
so so if that's what you feel like, what is the other option?
I
Do you
told
feel
you
they would have to do?
I
Like
don't
I don't
understand.
know.
I don't
So
understand their
I'm
thinking.
not arguing that, but I want to know what somebody talking about. Like I feel like the team, whatever they got going on, and the egos on that team, I think we got something for it to look at. So as far as how they maneuver and the players and all that stuff, I don't know. I really don't care that much, to be real. Um, I don't want LeBron over there. I'll take PJ Washington for sure. You know,
LeBron probably
John
won't take
Collins.
a level
No,
exception for
yeah,
six.
but he needs to be out. Yeah, but I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't want to see him over there. I don't want him over there. But I don't know. It's not that I don't like LeBron. Like I wanna. Yeah, I'm good. You know, LeBron might be going to the Warriors, like for all we know. But um, so what is the other options if
I don't
they
know.
got
I
okay?
know.
So if you
I
don't
know.
know, then say
No,
that.
let me
You know
explain.
what I'm saying? No, you
The
good. I
problem
ain't getting on
is
you. I'm sorry. I
the
don't want it
problem
to
is
sound like that, but I'm saying
uh,
like I want to talk about the solution if
not
you
Rudy.
feel that way. Let's entertain that. Like what is the
Here's my
that's
problem.
yeah.
Rudy Gobert is my problem. I understand his
Ooh.
importance in defense and how he won, his little defensive players of the year. But I don't think right now he's such a negative on the other end offensively. I just felt like all these years went by and y'all didn't have like another center waiting in
Mm.
the wings that was as defensively sound or could have the chance to have the impact that he has defensively and stuff like
So
that.
what do? You get rid of them and trade them for somebody else, then, right?
The thing is, like
Mm.
outside of Rudy, when you think like around the league and you looking at these bigs today, right? And you
Mm.
like, okay, depending on the teams value different things for different players. I do believe they value defense, Rudy's defense very highly, but at the same time, I don't think they're willing to trade for him, being that you can't do nothing with him offensively. Like for instance, with Boston needing a big right, and you get your offense from Tatum, they would have to move off of Brown. Brown would go to a third team in this scenario. But it's like Boston is taking a risk with having somebody that's a negative offensively. Like you can't do nothing with him really. And this is the same big that played with Donovan Mitchell, for God's sakes. And we seen Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs before he left Utah just going through it because he didn't have another valuable second option in offensively. And what's name was much younger than Connolly. And he was struggling. I will never forget that.
So what do we do?
I don't think it's nothing. I don't think they have
Solutions. So wait a minute. That man is making 36.5 million a year. So it's only he on the second year of a 3-year contract for 110 million. So right now, I've been hearing as Timberwolves is constructed, Melo Ball, Anthony Edwards, got Rudy at by the rim. The other dudes, what they say, 1 in and 4 out, some shit. How they say it? I don't know. I wouldn't get rid of Rudy because LaMelo Ball ain't never played with nobody like that, man. You know what I'm saying? And he
Like
don't
what
really get.
offensive big?
Hold
Mark,
on,
per instance, Mark Williams probably don't have the defense
hold on now,
like Rudy, but he's more athletic,
hold on now, slow it
more
down,
mobile.
hold on now,
Come on,
LaMelo,
now.
hold on now,
Rudy's
hold on. Wait a minute, LaMelo Ball ain't never played with nobody with that type of defense, and Rudy ain't had he ain't had a point guard like that. So LaMelo Ball definitely gonna get him involved doing his thing, right?
It's not about getting him involved though. Like I don't think.
Hold on now. That's what I'm saying.
First of all,
we gotta see how this formulate and conjungulate first. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't care either way, but I ain't finna. I want to see what they're talking about. LaMelo, and that's just my opinion. I don't know nothing.
Get down.
So, how many defensive players of the year Rudy Gobert won?
6.
So,
he won 3 in a row at one point.
I didn't hear it. Wait a minute. I didn't hear it because my mic cut out. Wait a minute.
That's irrelevant to me.
Why is that irrelevant?
Because regardless of his six defensive players of the year, I watched this man be just a non-factor on the offensive end. There's no new group of 5 players that come in on the offensive side of the ball. These are 5 players that play
LaMelo Ball.
And you could keep saying LaMelo Ball. Once again, he played with Michael Conley and Donovan Mitchell. Regardless of them not being the playmakers that LaMelo is.
Yeah, who's the best passer in the league right now?
Older Rudy Gobert at that point too.
LaMelo Ball is gonna spoon feed this man buckets at the rim. He's averaging 10 right now for like that season, right? So I promise you, with LaMelo Ball,
you're acting like Michael Conley and Donovan Mitchell didn't do the same thing when he was in.
I don't care about them.
They didn't.
LaMelo Ball has a I don't know what's the disconnect. LaMelo Ball has been playing with bums since he came in the league.
Good for him to play with bums. I'm just putting you on the reality of things. They don't have no money. For real, nobody's gonna take
it. Ain't no debate. I don't want to argue. It ain't like that.
They
I'm just saying we gotta entertain some of the facts. Like LaMelo Ball just ain't had some of the weapons that the Timberwolves has. Like
exactly.
Listen, you're talking to a person that wanted LaMelo Ball to run it back with the Hornets because of how this man can just orchestrate just what he do. It don't matter whether he on the court or off the court. Like people scared of that man, bro. The NBA won't say it. When LaMelo Ball is playing, he just don't care. He'll look you in the face and just do what he want to do to you, treat you like a baby, go sit down, slap his teammates, and move around and do what he do and have fun, right? And he do that with and respecting, all the players that he played with. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks that Miles Bridges had his little situation. You know what I'm saying? It's serious. It's just like a lot of things suck. You know what I'm saying? But LaMelo Ball, everybody he played with wasn't bums, but we just gotta admit, like we can look at every year, and plus, some years he was hurt, and then we got the big baller brand family aspect of it, to where all the hate he got. LaMelo Ball will forever have hate when he get a championship. Not if, but when he get a championship, he's probably even gonna have more hate. They're gonna be like, "Oh my God, well, he went over there with Anthony Edwards, and why he didn't win it with the Hornets?" But when he was with the Hornets and he was doing this same stuff with the Hornets, and when he didn't get the whistle, when he was just playing with just bums, bro. Like it was what it was. It wasn't saying he was mature enough. They're roasting Lamelo Ball right now, and I'm not like a Lamelo Ball stan. Really, I really am, but that's beside the point. But they really be throwing this man under the bus. They really don't be caring about his play, and a lot of folks, around the league, speak highly of that man, right? Who cares about all that? If he's playing with Rudy Gobert, I figure you don't like him. It's an emotional attachment to that man. Like it is what it is. He has Anthony Edwards, got a couple other players on that squad. You know what I mean? So this man got better weapons. Lamelo Ball might go up a level. Uh, Imagine if he go up a level and bring a third of the team up a level with him. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just being hopeful, bro. We got a comment. Anthony, what is it? Edwards and Rudy alone are better to have on your team than the entire rest of the Hornets roster. So Melo was good. And I agree. Um like people went to sleep. They like to talk about Melo Ball's defense, but like he's not gonna keep constantly sacrifice his body, and, you know, and go crazy and have to get the points. And nah, I'm good. Like, hell no, I'm not. Like screw defense if I gotta do all that. I'm gonna just hit you with the one-legged setbacks every day. Just eat those. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I like it. I like it right now. I'm excited, bro.
Purple
So,
Baby is down on Rudy Gobert,
I'm
and
not that being realistic. That man is 34.
okay,
see,
but he's 34, but he haven't really just used his body up because he's only a specialist at one aspect of the game, and that's defense. And
And that's
you can
the
say he's
problem.
serviceable
This
on
ain't
the
football.
pick and roll. He's
This is not
serviceable on the pick and
football.
roll.
This man ain't gonna magically get better because he's playing with Lamelo Ball from an
No,
offense.
oh
okay.
yes, he will. Oh
Wait.
yes,
Hold on,
He's
hold on,
34.
Marcus.
It don't
mm.
work like that.
Let me eat this. Let me eat this, Marcus. Let me eat this. Okay. The Mellow Ball have shown throughout his career, since he been in the NBA, he has elevated the play of piss poor centers. Bismack Biyombo, Mason Plumlee,
And they not Rudy Gobert.
Zeller. Hold on.
Respectfully.
Zeller,
Being close.
Mark Williams, right? All those players have elevated when playing with the Mellow Ball. So you don't think Rudy Gobert, who's already been an All-Star and six-time Defensive Player of the Year, if he can elevate Bismack Biyombo when he was 30 years old, 34 years old, you don't think he can elevate Rudy Gobert, who is more talented than Bismack Biyombo?
No, because he's played with offensive talent like LaMelo, just without the passing, and Donovan Mitchell.
Okay, that's the
No,
key.
and
This is
he
what
was
you said.
younger.
Without the passing. So with the passing, that has to elevate him.
Think about this, Dex. I forgot the coach that was in Utah when he was there. Why do you think
Snyder was the coach. Snyder.
all yeah, Snyder. Why don't you
And
think they involved when knowing that came playoff time, Donovan Mitchell needed help from an offensive standpoint? Why wasn't Rudy Gobert as effective?
because
Quickly,
Rudy Gobert wasn't as effective because the way that Minnesota was constructed then. But when they added, Utah, excuse me, Utah, the way that Utah was constructed. But when he went to Minnesota and they added either Big Cat or Julius Randle, they went to the Western Conference Finals.
but it had
He didn't have
nothing to
that
do
other.
with
He didn't have
off-
that other part
They had
with
everything
him in Utah. No, he didn't.
and
He didn't have that other part.
Edwards. That's what you not see. He rebounds well, good defender. But again, he played alongside another guy in the front court that was offensively gifted. And Towns, even though I don't like Randall like that, and Towns he don't have that no more. Yes, the backcourt got better, but again, his defender Yes, the buckets might be easy, but it's going to allow whoever's defending him on the offensive side to come out of the paint because he's a non-threat
Mm-mm.
offensively.
Not
That's
now.
never changed.
No, that's not the case. Because
Yeah.
the only reason why it appeared that he was a non-offensive threat when isolated with another big man is because Carl Anthony Towns ate up a lot of that space down low. So Rudy Gobert was just standing in no man's land because Carl Anthony Towns had to get his touches. They don't have nobody like that now that would eat up
Okay,
the
so what
touches
happened with
and need
Randall?
that space.
What happened with him and Randall?
But Randall can shoot from the elbow. Randall can shoot a 15-footer.
But I know what happened to how people defended that. I mean, we know Anthony Ambrose seen a lot of.
They went they
So
went to the finals,
for
purple, with those two. They went to the Western Conference Championship game. Utah ain't never done that. They
again,
never went that far.
we talking about
Minnesota. And with
opponents
Minnesota,
that
Rudy
are.
Gobert went to back-to-back Western Conference Championship games.
We talking
So
about
it wasn't a fluke.
these teams getting better. I don't think Minnesota got worse. I just feel like being that they're weak in the front court, I don't think you understand that he don't have that protection no more with a decent to above. Well, I'm not gonna disrespect Carl Anthony Towns and call him above average. He's he's up there from an offensive standpoint. He's no longer playing with anybody, not even to Julius Randle's ability offensively. Respect to what's my guy's name? Daniels, but I just I have no faith at all. Like
Looks
Rudy
like
Gobert
Minnesota
is going to
purple.
go.
It looks purple. It looks like Minnesota is shifting from being a pound and ground team to open it up to be a run and gun team. That's what it looks like to me.
And I agree with that notion. But again, when you have an unathletic, he's 34.
He's
A
not unathletic. Stop it.
kid that is not as skilled offensively that needs you to spoon feed him, it's not going to work like you think it is. He's not going to be effective. And by the way, they had to be due to his lack of him being an offensive threat. For all the positives that he displays defensively, and with his rebounding, we're talking about this defensive player of the year being benched because he's not effective offensively.
I disagree. He can be effective offensively. And if not, if he could just focus on defense, because he got Wimby to stop, he
Basketball.
got Joker to stop. So if you can stop those
Basketball.
two, if you can stop those two in a seven series game, then you done your job. You don't have to be an offensive giant when you got Io DeSumo, you got Anthony Edwards, you got Lamelo Ball, you got Jaden McDaniels. You don't have to be an offensive giant. All you got to do is stop the other team from having easy access to the
Again,
bucket.
where did if you don't mind me asking, I don't think they label it like this, but I could have sworn they did. Where did what's the name finish for they perimeter defense this year? San Antonio.
I don't know that. I don't know their stats at all like that.
You forgetting that San Antonio got minus Fox. San Antonio has decent defenders in Harper and Castle, right? Then Minnesota, I mean not Minnesota, Lord Jesus, what's that? OKC still got Dort and
Caruso,
yeah, and Caruso. Caruso's smaller, so I'm not worried
but
about
he's
him.
still a hell of a defender though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I'm speaking in reality of I'm kind of looking at Denver, like I said, told you before when he got traded the other day. I don't care for Jamal Murray at all. I like Aaron Gordon, but I don't really see they defenders out there on the perimeter. So I think that's gonna be a who's who, and we know Jokic ain't a good defender whatsoever. But I'm going down the league, like I'm going down the Western conferences. I'm looking at the backcourt. And I'm only focusing on like the top 16 because anybody that below that, like I don't believe in Portland like that from a defensive standpoint, or Phoenix, I think Phoenix got some okay defenders, but I'm not. We'll see going into next year how good they are on the perimeter. That's my only concern of that when it comes to the perimeter, and you can stop one of the two. You only need to stop one of the two, whether that's Lamelo or Edwards. What do you do now with you losing your talent from an offensive standpoint in the front court? And Randall, that was a lesser player than Carl Anthony Towns. What do you do now when you just got Rudy and for right now McDaniels? What do they do?
If it remains the same, if that is the final
Yeah,
uh
if that like, what do
draw of
you
the roster,
if you can have because only thing you have
that's
to
why.
realize this
But
too.
Man,
remember,
what are we talking about, man? She hate that, man.
remember, hold on 1 second, Marcus.
Cause
Remember,
I'm
remember, I
itching
said,
over here, bro.
they removed, they moving away from the ground and pound to the run and shoot. So that is not necessary. What they need down there because they're not
I
going to
disagree.
focus their offense. That's not going to be the point of attack on their
I
offense
disagree,
because
Dex.
there's no more Big Cat, there's no more Randall. So they're going to switch their offensive stratagem to be more of a run and gun.
But my thing is that you realize that what Memphis just drafted Boozer and then they got Edie, right? You Gobert has to choose between one of the two. Let's say they line him up against Boozer, right? That's allowing somebody like Edie to go off. When you look in, I don't know who's Phoenix. I think Mark Williams will still start, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
he
But
still
I don't
started.
know
They
who's
just
four
extended him. They
and
extended
Phoenix.
Mark Williams, so he's starting.
Yeah, I said I don't know who's starting with him though.
Oh,
So I think it's irrelevant because I don't think they front court did much damage last year anyway. Um, we know the Lakers, unfortunately, they got weaker in the front court. I seen that coming. Clippers are irrelevant too. They ain't got no good front court. It'll be all perimeter based for the Clippers. Perimeter scoring. Who else am I mentioning? Clippers. Pelicans are irrelevant. Utah. I don't have much faith in Utah. I'm not gonna lie. But Utah, you got marketing. Marketing to me is not a good defender. He okay. Ace Bailey to a lot of people is a dud, but we'll see when coming into next season. And then they got what's the name? What's my guy's name that can't rebound? Um, that came from Memphis. Who I can Jaron Jackson. I'm thinking about stuff like that. Like
they still got
they
Kessler
need
Walker, right?
Huh? Oh, and then they got Walker Kessler. You need the easiest way for them to lose games is if teams have a half decent to decent front court where you just have like they do got another big. Let's not be disrespectful. I cannot pronounce his name, but they definitely have another big. We talking about like PJ, although serviceable and Collins, they can only do so much before you like, okay, they not having any effect. We got to bench them, and we basically left with Rudy out here. Like he's human, so he
Who
going
said you got to bench them? Wait, you saying that? If
no.
if
I'm
they can get a
saying
PJ
you
Washington or
out,
John Collins shoot over 40% from three
and with his over 40%, how many teams has he been on within the last 5 years?
because
That
he don't play no defense.
regardless of what's the reason is, how many teams has he been on in the last 5 years? And you speaking on
Probably
somebody
three.
that,
Been on three teams.
yeah, you speaking on somebody that like John Collins coming uh, out of Atlanta, right? And then I was like, okay, what's going on? Like, he ain't really hurt like that, and stuff. And then I started to watch him, and I'm like, okay, he's not. When teams like this are already built, and you're going after low hanging fruit, you wouldn't go after these guys if you already had a solidified. You wouldn't even go after guys like that if you had a solidify, like with Randall. He's not going to be a guy that you go after if you had a guy like Randall. When Ben Simmons was still worth something, you still wouldn't go after a guy like John Collins. I just feel like you going after guys that are low hanging that you're not going to keep for the whole season, that you're going to end up buying out or buying out. These are guys that you go after on the buyout market when you desperate. I literally watched the Lakers last couple of years do stuff like this. Like these guys never stay on teams.
What about PJ then? If you don't like John Collins, what about PJ?
I don't know because my thing with Dallas is why draft old buddy from Michigan, and people have all like I don't know what's going on there. And I feel like PJ, as good as people say his defense is, he's a step away from being a guy that you go after, on a buyout market. Like, oh, PJ's there. He's still young. He's athletic. He can defend he's a respectable defender. He's a respectable 3-point shooter. I don't like that. Like Jonathan Isaac, he's fallen off. I have to admit. He's been largely unhealthy, but it's just I don't like going after players like that. And I hate when teams do that because I see the writing on the wall before it even starts. You always cut those guys. Like those guys always get cut, even when they playing decently well.
What about Mo Wagner then?
He's cool. Like I like Wagner. He's what 7'1". He's a bigger body, a little bit more athletic, not too much more than Rudy. But who's to say if he don't want to stay in Orlando with his brother?
No, I think he won out. He won, he won
Yeah,
a bigger role. He won a bigger role.
yeah. I respect that a little bit more better than PJ or John Collins. Even with I hate this player too. Even because I think they still selling Milwaukee with old boy Turner. You
Oh,
just
Tucker.
need something. Like you just need something.
Yeah,
If,
Mo
if,
Wagner,
if
that's good. If you don't like the other guys, at least we
yeah, like
agree on Mo Wagner.
I'm more coming around to Mo Wagner than John Collins. And I hate, but that's the reality of the NBA. Like I heard that John Collins got in trouble with the Clippers or something like that, even though it wasn't his fault. It was the baby mama's fault. But it's just like, dang, like he just can't stay on a team. And that's very concerning to me.
Marcus.
I don't know how his star fell so fast coming out of Atlanta.
Yeah, Marcus.
No,
What you got cooking up, Marcus,
Oh,
over there? I know you're looking up something.
no, not now.
what the
I'm
hell?
chilling.
Did it
You hear
freeze?
me?
Because I just believe that Minnesota is I believe Minnesota's ready, man. I just have a good feeling that Minnesota's ready. They got fresh blood over there. They moved out some dead debris, and I think they're ready. I think Ant Man is serious. He's tired of looking at Shea. You know what I
Right.
mean? Um, he don't want to hear Wembenyama giving press conference in the NBA Finals. He wants to be up there doing it.
Would you agree that what's name is the ultimate cheat code though? When Benyata right now, because as bigger as some of the Western Conference teams are making their front court, it doesn't matter. Like that man is super athletic, just obviously really long.
Paul,
What just happened?
you
Like
gotta you
I'm
gotta
just
say pause after that one.
yeah. When I was watching this year's draft, I'm like, I don't care how big you make your front court right now because he still has to put on weight. Yeah, you can, like somebody like Rudy is serviceable in that fact of pushing him off his spots. I'm not, but still, it's just like it ain't gonna do nothing. You gotta, figure out his length. You got to get a guy that's arguably as long as him to guard his length. I think that's the key to stopping him. Like, yeah, you put a bigger body on him, but what about the length? He had teams afraid to drive in the paint because he just
If
sitting back there
I don't know.
waiting. That's my whole thing. He's very irritating, Dex. Like I can't stand it. We need somebody to get out here and challenge him. And I'm like, okay, Jokic is a good offensive big, but he ain't really athletic. And so when I seen him go against Jokic, I'm like, okay, he's not gonna get these many blocks being delusional. I knew he was deep down inside, and I was like, damn, we gotta. And then when he went against Embiid, I was like, okay, Embiid got him. when I heard that he was blocking Embiid, I'm like, damn, like I ain't got nobody. Ain't nobody can do nothing with his length for right now. That's irritating, man.
Well, what about Big Cat? Did Big Cat show you anything?
I mean, yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, yeah, eh, Dex. Like they said, that team was younger, first time in the playoffs. More experience always wins at the end of the day. I also think as talented as San Antonio was, they definitely overachieved. Um, Whatever went wrong in that series with OKC, they were very underwhelming. Shout out to Chet, and stuff like that. But I just think that's all that happened. But that don't take away that he's just a cheat code, bro. Like
Oh,
it's
he's
not.
definitely coming. Once he get his man body, it's a wrap for the NBA.
That's what I'm saying. Like you don't got even with the new big out of Michigan that they took, you're not doing. You let it go. Just do what everybody else is, on his team is regular compared to him. Just deal with his teammates because there's nothing you can do. Y'all might as well get ready to get embarrassed. Let him get them blocks off because it's nothing you can do with him. Like trying to do something with him. I know that's their job. They gotta like literally try, but it's nothing you can do. It's nothing you can do. Like it's toxic over there in San Antonio right now. Like I'm gonna ask you because you was around to see Shaq. Like when Shaq came in, like was Shaq like Wimby like in like I know he was athletic, but did you ever feel like teams couldn't do stuff with Shaq?
Yep, no doubt. Because, like you say, he was very athletic and he was so fast on his feet. He was very nimble.
Mhm.
And the only thing Shaq, he just didn't have like no jump shot or nothing like that. But he was fast to his spots, and then once he got to his spots, his elevation was, I mean, it was incredible. His elevation, the way how quick he was off his feet, and then he go up with such a thunderous effort. People were just getting out the way. I mean, he used to just abuse David Robinson, and David Robinson was 7'4", 7'3",
Mm,
and he was just abusing David Robinson. And
yeah,
that
that's
was because Shaq had so much weight on him,
yeah.
and he was delivering blows with so much um, kinetic force.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm like, I was so irritated when I seen them do that. Like, yo, you still getting mad at OKC. You still can't do nothing. He's still gonna get you every time. What are y'all doing? You can't do nothing with him. When they took that center out of Michigan, I'm like, yo, this is gonna be irritating, bro. I immediately thought about Shaq. I was like, I guess I'm getting ready to feel what everybody else felt with Shaq because oh my goodness.
And Shaq started out as a good defender. Shaq used to throw your shit. You couldn't
Mm,
just come in there on Shaq. It's
yeah,
just that when
right.
he became a more prolific scorer, he kind of shied away from his defense. And Shaq was just blocking everything that was coming his way.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
what
he kind of slowed up doing that.
like. Of course, like I said, around the league, they definitely have to put in effort when it comes into Wimby and stuff like that. But the key to beating them is stop the teammates. You can stop the teammates. Now we in a lot of trouble if you stop them teammates and then they still winning. But for right now, I just think you stop his teammates, and I think that's ultimately what happened. Like Wimby, I mean not Wimby, Townsend, what's the name, and Mitchell definitely challenged him, got him off his spots. But it was like at the end of the day, like, and remember they had guys that were able to shoot too, in towns and stuff like that. So it's like I don't know. It's irritating, bro. The NBA making me mad because why you do that? Like, why did they have a chance to get? They had the money, so I can't be mad. But De'Aaron Fox, and then they smelled the block and got Castle and freaking Harper, and I like them. I'm like, this is cheesy. Like they irritate me.
But we're going to see if San Antonio can duplicate last season and get up there and be a number 2 seed.
I think they will. Because when you look at it, they only challenge or they hump is Minnesota, and some people would say Denver, but I just don't know if Jokic can continue. I think he needs not younger talent. I just think he needs something better than Jamal Murray. And for right now, I don't think it's anything out there that Denver can per se offer that is better than Jamal Murray right now.
Yeah, I just think Denver is cooked. Far as they remind me of the Lakers after the Lakers won their first after LeBron won his first championship with the Lakers, and the
Mm-hmm.
Lakers always kind of up there as a contending team,
Mm-hmm.
but really, they wasn't going to do anything because they gutted that team. I think Denver is somewhat like that when they traded the Browns of the world, when they traded Jeremy Grant, a lot of those pivotal players that were, silent killers for the Denver Nuggets.
Right.
And when you do that, yeah, you still got your core, right? But you're going to be competitive. But that little edge you had with your bench is no longer there. And
Right.
then when Brown came back, he was nothing like his old self.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting because I watched them win. I was one of the people that said Denver, as excited as I was to see somebody other disrespectfully Dex, the Lakers and the Celtics win, like that. I was like, it just I had this feeling like I don't know, like it's just not it. Like it's something about I can't put my finger on. And it's just not it, and it's just like I think Jamal Murray has always had a microscope on him, but for me, I just I hear he did this, this, and this. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And these last couple of years, I'm up there looking, and I'm like, this guy is kind of inconsistent. Like as good as he can be when he's on, it's just I just don't think he's worth what he's making now. Like, and it make you think back to was he ever like because this how he plays and how he disappears that didn't just start a season or two ago. I think it's been a thing, but I don't know like
Well, Jamal Murray had a pretty good run in the absence of Joker to keep the Denver Nuggets up at the top of the heap.
right,
They didn't fall apart. So just by looking at that, Jamal Murray earned his keep.
right.
It's just that, Anthony Edwards and Shea, those guys are just run circles around Jamal Murray. He's just not of their caliber yet. And this is why Jamal Murray never made an all-star.
Yep, yep. Because I was like I was looking. The reality of the situation is when it comes to the NBA, you gotta stay on your stuff because just like that, somebody can surpass you, or teams in general can surpass you just that quick. And how far Denver has fallen, like in a way, we seen OKC coming. You could say maybe because of Wemby, we probably seen San Antonio coming, but to see that you just like it's just really Jokic because there's no faith in Jamal Murray's consistency is ridiculous.
Yeah, all you got to do is play some defense on Jamal Murray, and he's rattled.
Yeah, yeah, like I don't know. And then I feel bad for the Lakers just because I'm like, you fine, you got off of Anthony Davis, you got Luca, spectacular. You like what? Like where do y'all go from here? How do you? This team is worse built than the team in Dallas his first year. Like Luca gonna go through it, Dex. Like
I don't
he
think Luca
all
cares.
respect to Austin Reeves, but he about to go through there, Dex.
I don't think Luca
He about
cares.
to
To be
go
honest with
through
you,
there.
I don't think he cares.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no way if he cared, if Luca cared, there's no way the Lakers be making the moves that they're making. No
Mm.
way.
Yeah, he about to go. He thought he had it bad in Dallas. He about to go through there, Dex. Like
Yeah, he better
I
do
don't
better.
even know what he do. I don't even know what he do. Like when I heard LeBron, like I wasn't surprised, by the news or whatever. But I'm like, yo, like Luca, dude, do you understand how bad this team is? And then when it comes to trades, Austin Reeves, what? Let me see. They got Austin Reeves. They got Rui. Like, you can't even get an IO for them. Like, come on, Luca. Like, I don't know what I don't know, Dex. I don't know.
I,
I,
I wonder is Nick Smith Jr. still on their roster?
no, they said I seen the list today. They said he a free agent.
Oh, okay.
He's not restricted either. I was like, oh,
What about Bronny James?
yes, he's still there. They said his contract is guaranteed. I think 2.3, 2.3 million.
Oh wow,
Yeah, I'm looking and I'm like, yo,
Bronny still hanging on.
you know what I had to go through, Dex? Like, yeah, Luca, I seen the Kobe Lakers. I seen part of like the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, but I'm like, yo, this is bad. Like, they ain't got nothing. Like, I was like, yo, like the Clippers got players that's more valuable, that's role players. Like, I'm like, yo, like, and then the Clippers, they just pissed me off. Like, if you knew that you was gonna part ways with Kawhi Leonard and you draft Keaton Wagler and you got come on, y'all. The Clippers is always gonna be the Clippers.
Yep.
They just gonna keep messing up.
I'll be wondering what the Clippers be thinking, but who cares?
They don't. That's the thing. They don't think. And then Devin Booker 10 plus years in the league?
Yep.
We already know he ain't gonna see a team as good as when Paul was over there and they had Mikal Bridges and Cameron, or I think they call him Cam Johnson, whatever
Jeff
Johnson it was.
Crowder. They had Jay Crowder.
Yeah, he's just not, and I feel bad for him too because people be like, "Oh, he can play make," and he can, but I'm like, Booker is in a reality where ain't no like, yeah, Anthony. Some people feel like Anthony Evers as a player, as an individual player, has not surpassed Booker. That Booker is still better, but I'm like, what all does that mean? Like, yeah, he the better player if he can't get in, he's constantly in the play in. He cannot get this team to what we now know is the top six, a secure playoff spot. What does it mean? He's the better player on a team that is, for right now, probably to some people worse, a worse constructed team than Minnesota. Like, what does that mean if he, at least Anthony Edwards is getting there? It's almost like he should have left Phoenix. As much as it hurt, he should have went on and parted ways. Like,
So I just think Booker is just solidly rooted in that cactus culture in that desert. You know, by him being a Mexican American and playing ball the way he's playing, hooping the way he's hooping, he ain't trying to leave that because that's a strong that's Atlanta for Mexicans. Phoenix is Atlanta for Mexicans.
hmm
Some might say L.A., but no. L.A. got a whole lot of Asian people in,
yeah, I
in,
heard that recently.
in powerful structures, but Phoenix, that's Mexican. You know what I'm saying? So
The border.
that's the Atlanta of Mexico. I mean Mexican. Excuse me.
And then speaking of Utah, like I don't see a Dex. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, they got a lot of young pieces, but Utah just, I don't know.
They're not even on anybody
Like
purview. Utah.
I was I hate Danny Ainge. Let's state that for the record. The fact that he didn't held on to Larry Marketing all this, like, he's aggravating Dex. But I'm like, people keep Jaron Jackson. I said, unless Jaron Jackson learns how to rebound coming into next season, I don't understand why y'all so excited. I give him his offensive talent, but bro, I blindly defended this man and said that he once I seen them clips and that man wasn't rebounding, I was kind of cool off of him. Like, I don't understand people's excitement when they like, oh, Jared Jackson, Larry Marvin, Walker Kessler, Ace Bailey coming off the bench. They got Keontae, and I'm like, what are y'all so excited about? Like,
Everybody's excited before the season starts.
yeah, until reality kick in. Like, Jared Jackson is what
The
six.
first 10 games, they be like, "Oh shit, here we go."
Like, and mind you, I still like Jaren Jackson, but next for you to be a front court player, like I'm pretty sure we've seen it. We just ain't never paid attention because they get benched. But for you to play in the front court and you can't rebound, like, come on, dude. Like, how you doing all this offensive stuff and you can't your defense, your defense good, but you can't rebound? And I can't put you on the perimeter because, like, dude, come on, Jaren. Shout out to him making it because it ain't no way.
Yeah, nobody expected much from Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I see people excited about Denny, and I'll say this: it's Washington first of all, the team he came from, and I wasn't too high because Denny was a number one pick. I was never too high on Denny. I'm still not.
Danny,
Yeah, Denny idea in Portland.
he wasn't a number one pick.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
I
He
thought he was. I could have
he
sworn.
came out in the same draft as Lamelo.
You sure?
I'm positive. He was a lottery pick, but he wasn't a number one pick.
Oh, I didn't know he came out of the draft with
Yeah, he's part of that Lamelo draft.
yeah, but people was
I
like, "Oh
think
my,
he got picked after Keelan Hayes. I think Keelan Hayes got picked before Denny.
that's crazy." But Washington ain't do nothing with him.
Nah, they ain't do nothing with him.
Yeah, and so people like shout out to him. I'm proud that he's able to he's make it another year, but I don't have no faith. Like the fact that Portland about to build that team around him is crazy.
You think they built it around him?
Yeah,
Mm,
he's their best player.
okay.
That's what everybody's saying. He their best player. I don't think they should build a team around him, but
So they gave up on Shaden Sharp.
yeah, he gone. Shaden's gone. I
They,
see that coming. Shaden and what's the name is gone. And Scoop.
they where did Scoop go?
Fuck. Okay, Portland. Who did Portland trade for? Fuck. Who did Portland trade for? Oh
They
my god.
traded for Ja. They traded for Ja.
Yeah. So they in Memphis.
Oh, okay. So Scoop was part of that then. Okay.
Scoop. When I seen that, I was like, oh, I'm not surprised by that. That I seen Scoop. I don't. And this is the thing about potential. School couldn't shoot. Like, yeah, his playmaking, his defense was not really there.
He was
But
hype. Scoop
I
was just
knew
hype. He was hype. We bought into the hype that all those who advocated for
I
Scoop to
didn't.
start it. Yeah.
Because what I don't understand, like people are coming back down to reality with the Thompson twins. We all knew that they could not shoot. They don't have any offensive bag. So why are people like, oh, they got to get this? Like y'all knew, and they still went in the lottery. Like y'all knew, like what's wrong with people sometimes?
I don't know.
Like, come on, bro. Shout out to Scoop. I hope he has, he continues to have a career because I hate to see guys, make
But
it to the
but
level.
Memphis need more though, right? They need more. They need a standout star. Who's gonna be their standout star?
Lillard went back.
He's important. Yeah.
Yeah, so Lillard.
Yeah, he's important. I said the Memphis.
Memphis,
Yeah.
I don't think they care, honestly, really, Dex. I think they just want to exist and be competitive.
Because there's nobody in Memphis no more, right? Everybody's gone.
hmm And I hate when, I was thinking about when this whole job thing, because you had what's the guy's name out there in Orlando, the guard, and I'm like, and
So,
yeah, No, not Suggs, the one that came from Memphis. And you had the troublemaker. I always think I said, do they think Ja
Oh, you talking
was
about Bane? You said
yeah,
Memphis or
Bain,
Orlando? You said Orlando Bane, right? Desmond
yes,
Bane.
Bain, and I see his face, but I can't the forward that people said is annoying. Um Dylan. I always wonder, like, did Ja like they was teammates, so they bonded together. Do people around the league feel like Ja rubbed off on those guys, minus Dylan
I
Brooks?
thought I
Do
thought
you
Dylan
feel
was
like he
in
rubbed off on them the wrong way?
Houston. I thought Dylan was in Houston.
Yeah, but when they was playing together, because you seen the reputation, rightfully so, that Dylan Brooks, had after Memphis.
Uh huh.
Whatever. Jaron Jackson, he didn't. I don't hear too much negative stuff around him, but I wonder why they just like. I understand getting rid of Ja. I seen that coming. The writing's on the wall. But why get rid of Bane? Why get rid of Jaron Jackson? For arguably, even though I think what's his name will be a better pro, right? Boozer than Jaron Jackson. I just wonder, like, why break it apart like they did.
Well, Memphis wasn't getting over the hump. That's why.
I mean,
And
that's true, but
they weren't going to spend a whole lot of money because Memphis is a small market.
true. But I'm like, you could have just got rid of. You don't think? Well, I don't. They don't really have a good guard right now. They drafted third and took Boozer, but you don't think replacing Boozer and still, I mean, replacing Ja with Boozer and they still had Jaren. You don't think they would have been competitive?
No. I mean, after the Ja era, it's going to be a while before Memphis to be competitive. Because, see, with Ja, when they had Desmond Bain, they had Dylan, they had, what's the other boy name? Brandon Clark.
Yeah,
Uh,
he passed away.
yeah. And they had that other, what's the center name? What was the center name?
Adams,
Yeah, Adams. See, that was a tough ass team. And with Ja just running around shooting and do what he do, it was almost built like how Philly was back in the day. A lot of tough guys that can get you some good hard baskets, and then you got the one player that shoots in value that can put up big points if you ain't careful. Ja can put up 30 in the blink of an eye if you ain't careful.
right, right.
So that's why Memphis was such a good team, and there was a excited team to watch because of the theatrics of Ja
Ja.
Morant on the court. Because look, he dunked on Wemby. Wasn't he the first to dunk on Wemby?
I don't remember. He probably was.
Yeah, I think he was the first to dunk on Wemby like that. Took advantage of that rookie. And so, you do things like that, it, it's hard to replace that in a small market. Just like Milwaukee, they're gonna be in the dungeon for years to come.
Right. Yeah, I seen that coming. It's people going back down to reality, Dexys. We like to say that. By the way, when they do the realignment for Seattle and I guess the Vegas team, doesn't Minnesota and Memphis go out east?
Minnesota is still Midwest.
Yeah,
Minnesota's on Central Time. They're not on Eastern Time.
yeah, but they saying that the teams that's coming is gonna be out west, so they got to move two teams out east.
Or maybe Minnesota is kind of they
Yeah,
right there with Milwaukee. So
because I
Milwaukee,
know Minnesota was sure for sure, and I think it was Memphis because let me see, Detroit's already out east. Detroit, Chicago's already out east.
what about New Orleans?
Or maybe I got the team wrong. It might be New Orleans
They
and
more east than Memphis.
Minnesota, but I know it's for sure Minnesota because they was like, "Oh, Minnesota got to move." Because I was mad. I was like, "No, keep Minnesota out west." And then they was like, "No, that they gonna have to go out east." But it's between those three. Two of the
Yeah,
three.
well, I know New Orleans should be an Eastern team because New Orleans is an Eastern market.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, Lord Jesus.
They Southeast.
Can't wait till Seattle come back though. I got to get that jersey, and I hope they got a Kevin Durant because that's his team. He originally got drafted by. I'm going to get that jersey.
What jersey?
Kevin Durant. If when Seattle come back, I hope they sell. Kevin.
So they are. That's the two teams that was awarded.
Yeah, they said Seattle for sure. Seattle Supersonics, and then Vegas is next up. I don't know the name of the Vegas team, but they said Vegas, which is why two people out west. I don't know why they can select a team, a city out east, but maybe all the major cities out east got a team because Philly got a team. Brooklyn / do they still play in Jersey? Or are they in New York now?
Brooklyn. No, Brooklyn's in New York. Brooklyn, they in Brooklyn.
So yeah, Jersey respectfully don't matter. Sorry. Let me see. Philly, New York. Carolina don't need no basketball team.
Boston, you got Boston. You got Miami.
Huh?
You got Miami.
Yeah, Miami.
You got Milwaukee, Cleveland.
Listen. We're gonna pull back up tomorrow. I want to thank all y'all for pulling up. You already know what it is. Listen, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new, most definitely hit the subscribe button. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.